APC United Late Model Series has a home track. It's right here, outside of London, Ontario, at Delaware Speedway. Tonight, it's race number 3 of the 2023 APC Series, the Spectra Premium 100. All of the big stars of the APC Series are here, but we also bring out a number of competitors who make Delaware Speedway their Friday night home, don't normally follow the series. They're going to be ones to watch for here tonight. I'm Adam Ross. Joining me tonight on G-Force TV, as always, will be Jamie Maudsley. Clinton Jeffrey is trackside, and Clinton's already been put to work getting stories from the pit area. Let's see what he's got in store.
We're here with Shay Gamble. Shay, you know, last time we saw you here on this G-Force TV deal, you didn't have the great finish. You were the wrong way in turn 1 with a blown motor. What type of work have you guys done to get ready for tonight?
You got to give all the boys credit. McCall Enterprises, Paul, Joe, all the team there, they did a lot of work on this thing. We had to pull the motor, send it down, get it looked at, pretty much replace everything on the right front clip, right front suspension, pretty much whole new body on this thing. We put a long 2 weeks on it. We brought a half-decent car today. We were pretty good in practice. You got to thank APC Canusa, Miami Musto, Castrol, Raycon Chevrolet, all these supporters that let us keep going and keep doing the things that we love, and hopefully have a good run today.
Right on, guys. We know Shay can get it done here. This is one of his best tracks. We've seen some great runs out of him. Watch for the 3-car tonight.
We're here with Connor Pritico, driver of the number 19 machine, and you've been off to a great start at Delaware. How excited are you to be competing here in the APC Series tonight?
I think we got a decent shot at getting it done. This car's been really fast, and I got to thank the guys at McCall's for giving me a really good piece. And we're just fixing some things up here from our last practice, but I think we'll be ready to go.
You've won a 35-lapper this year. You've won a 70-lapper this year. Another 30 laps here tonight. What do you got to do to get through all 100 laps and be up front?
I just got to be patient and let the race come to me, because 100 laps is a long race, and I know this car's a long-run car, so we'll see what happens and go from there.
Connor Pritico, one of the ones to watch here tonight at Delaware Speedway.
It's going to be all sorts of fun here tonight, and you'll see it all on G-Force TV when we come right back.
Get ready to experience the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour. Join your host and wingman, Cam K, every Monday night at 7 p.m. on G-Force TV for an hour of non-stop excitement and in-depth analysis of the hottest racing series around. From the latest race highlights to expert analysis and insider commentary, you'll get an exclusive look at everything you need to know about the NASCAR Pinty Series. Tune in for the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour, the ultimate destination for race fans everywhere.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory pasticides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Rev up your engines and get ready for some high-octane action. GeForce TV is your one-stop destination for all the best racing action across Ontario. With free live coverage of the APC Series, Bushwick Speedway, Southern Ontario Sprints, and much more. You won't miss a single moment of the excitement. Whether you're a diehard fan or a casual viewer, GeForce TV has everything you need to stay up to date on the latest racing news and events. Head to our website at GeForceTV.net and start watching today.
Welcome back to Delaware Speedway. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet presents the United Late Model Series. It'll be the Spectra Premium 100 for the APC Series tonight. And we are just waiting.
Can we bust out the new toy?
Well, go ahead, Jamie. Go
Sure.
ahead.
We got a new toy up in the booth. So there, no.
Click your button. You got to wake
Click
it
the
up.
button, okay. There is where everybody's trying to get to tonight. There, you see all the cars getting ready to qualify, and they have ice cream right down there.
You're pretty good at this. And then you hit the clear button, and it's like it never happened.
Wow, pretty neat stuff.
Right?
That is cool.
I got something new.
This could be bad.
I got something new today. We got some G-Force bandanas, so
saw
keep
that.
the sweat out of my eyes.
Yeah, I think you're going on tour with Guns N' Roses next month.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So it's more for function than fashion.
It does both. It's dual purpose.
First qualifying group going to roll out onto the racetrack. Only their fastest lap counts. The 45 out of West Lorne, the Simon Innovations 45 is Barry Watson. The Polar Blair Motorsports entry, Rymat Mini Storage, Shaw Motorsports 97 out of Cambridge. It's the Polar Blair, Blair Wickett. In the 77, sponsored by London Drive Systems and Maple City Tire, he's out of Mount Bridges. That's Darrell Lake. The 74, from Dundas, the SDR Seating, AJ&J Furniture Incorporated, Stage It With Style 74 is Eric Della Riva. And last but not least, from Pickering, the Real Landscaping Plus, Langeal Metal Recycling, number 94 is Corey Luciano.
Track record set back here September of 2022. Connor Pritico 17.928, but it is so hot and humid here tonight. I just do not think anybody's going to get close to that. So group qualifying up right now. We got 23 cars on property here tonight. The top 10 will get locked into the top 10 spots. And if you've never seen an APC race, what we do is we invert the top 10 based on two things: where they are in points in the invert, and then you have to have perfect attendance to go to the front of that line. So anybody who qualifies in the top 10, one of our local drivers who hasn't started an event with us this year, they could be 10th, 9th, 8th spot, and then you'll see the series point leaders in the 8, 7, 6 spot, all the way down to the lowest guy in the top 10 who's going to be on the pole.
How about Corey Luciano right now? He is on the top of the charts with an 18.613. Eric Della Riva in the 74 is second, with Blair Wickett in the 97 third. Remember, they get 5 laps. Blair Wickett says, I'm not going to put up with that. Puts himself back to the top of the heap.
There you see one of our Delaware Speedway regulars. How about that paint scheme? Like the brown on black camouflage. Look, the 45, the Simon Innovation entry. That is the mayor of West Lorne, Barry Watson. Longtime runner here at Delaware Speedway as he moves off turn 2. So far, he has not found the speed he wants. He's 4th quick.
As these groups move on, the last group will have the fastest 4 cars from practice earlier today. This will do it for group number 1. Checkered flag in the air. Let's see if anybody can go faster. Blair Wickett, 18.576. That was his fastest lap. Darrell Lake down in the 5th spot. Eric Della Riva unable to match his best lap. So Blair Wickett, the 5th lap, was the fastest for the driver of the 97.
So your first 5 drivers have all taken time now. Next group of 5 will be up, and then bumping will start.
Up in this group, in the 0 out of Ohsweken, Ontario, the Ohsweken Speedway, Glenn Stiers Racing, number 0 is Glenn Stiers.
89C London Recreational Racing entry from Drumbo, Ontario. That's Sean Chenoweth.
Driving the number 10 from Southampton, the Tom Gibbons Concrete Finishing Graham Family CarQuest Faust Construction number 10, it's Tom Gibbons.
In the 72 machine, sponsored by PV Mart. And Burns Workwear, Epic Racewear, and Inside Track Motorsports News from Guelph, that's Junior Farley.
Also from Guelph is the 97D, Hudco Electric Supply, Bremner Construction, MRC Wireless 97D of Tyler DiVincenzo. Those are the 5 cars that make up this second qualifying group.
Keep an eye on Chenoweth. He's been quick all year long. Other guy that's found his way into the top 10 in points, Tom Gibbons, opened the season with a solid top 5 at Sunset. Ended up missing the Peterborough race. Flying Ryan Kimball ran in his place. And Gibbons comes into tonight 6th in points. So he'll tell you, though, that this is his hardest track to get around, whether it was the old pavement or the new pavement. As you see that beautiful 72 of Junior Farley now working off turn 2 on the clock.
Glenn Steyer's the first to complete a lap. He moves into the 5th spot with an 18.7 lap. Tom Gibbons jumps to 4th. And the lap should get faster and faster as this session goes on. Tyler DiVincenzo jumps into the top 5. Let's see what Chenoweth can do. P2 for Sean Chenoweth on lap number 2 as he continues to build some steam in that London recreational racing. Number 89C.
There you see DiVincenzo to the line. P1 for the 97D, Tyler DiVincenzo with an 18.401. So again, still about a half a second off record pace. I do not think we're going to see that touch tonight as you see Chenoweth now off turn 2 and down the backstretch. Just a lap or 2 to go here.
Junior Farley crosses the line, jumps all the way up to the 2nd spot with an 18.570. White flag being displayed to Sean Chenoweth in the 89C. He jumps up to the 2nd spot.
Chenoweth had a great run here last night in the Superstock race. Ended up losing a spot late only because he had some brake issues, but he's been competitive in that series, competitive here weekly at Delaware, and competitive in that Pro Late model wherever he goes. 2nd quick. So far, Tom Gibbons times in 3rd, Farley for the wicket 5th.
Tom Gibbons unable to better his time. Junior Farley coming across. Same story with Junior Farley. Tyler DiVincenzo will sit atop the board right now with an 18.383.
Epic Racewear fast qualifying going on right now for the APC United Late Model Series here at Delaware Speedway. All as part of our Canada Day festivities, all leading up to the Spectre Premium 100. Which is going to get underway 8:30 here tonight at Delaware Speedway. And a good job by Chenoweth up into P2. But how about Tyler DiVincenzo? Remember a few years ago, he went to Sable Beach and went up there and didn't qualify both days. So they've getting the program turned around. That 97D's had a little more speed this year. Hudco, one of the major sponsors on that 97D of Tyler DiVincenzo.
They took their time developing Tyler. You know, I remember when he was out at Jukasa, and he was quite a ways off the pace, but they just wanted him to turn laps, get used to driving a stock car. And then he consistently has gotten better and better, so exciting for them to be on top of the scoring pylon right now, even though the fastest 12 cars of the day about to roll onto the racetrack, Jamie. And now these groups will have just 4 cars each.
I think that on the half mile, whether it's 4 or 5, there's enough room here for everybody to spread out. There you see a former winner on tour here at Delaware Speedway, Shea Gemmel, in the Canusa APC Miami Muscle number 3 out of Dorchester.
Second car in line in the number 10 out of Oneida First Nation, the Dads. Wampum Fuels number 10, it's Jesse Kennedy.
Third on the grid, Pat Friel. In the Hyde Park Crown Rust Control number 18, one of our regulars here at Delaware Speedway. And he was 4th quick in practice earlier today.
Also one of the regulars here at the Speedway from Windsor, the JR Excavating John Arts Group number 03 is Ray Morneau.
There you see Jesse Kennedy again. He's sponsored by Wampum Fuels, and he also owns the Wampum Fuels gas station. I was there earlier today. Got to put a shout out to my buddy Craig, who should be here tonight. We had a brief conversation while I was buying fuel today. Hope he's having fun cheering on Jesse. Pat Friel off turn 4. Looks like he's going to be the second of the last cars to take the green. And then our defending track champ, the 03. There's Kennedy. firing it off into turns 3 and 4.
He just looks fast out there.
I don't think there's many guys who've got more laps around this place than Jesse Kennedy does in that 10K. A couple weeks ago, he broke a motor down in the middle of turn 1 and 2 and backed that car hard into the wall. He has a former win here at Delaware Speedway in the Canada Day 100, and before it was APC, he had 4 or 5 wins here on Canada Day. So the hotter it gets, if it's Canada Day, Jesse Kennedy's a factor. And now you see Friel working his way through 1 and 2.
Man, they've already broken into the top 5. Patrick Friel second, Ray Morneau third, Shea Gemmel fourth, Jesse Kennedy
now into the top 10 at 8th.
8th spot.
So that'll bump Della Riva out of the top 10. And again, the whole goal is to get into the top 10 and be in that invert for the feature. Shea Gemmel to the line. Stays 4th quick.
White flag out already. This one's flown by, but they all get those 5 laps. Let's see if any of them can beat Tyler DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo still sitting atop the scoring. These 4 cars were faster in practice. Can Shea knock him off? No, he can't. Shea going to stay down in the 4th spot.
Friel second quick. He's going to fire off turn 4 and come to the stripe. Can Patrick Friel move up one more spot? No, and it seems like not too many guys have put up their best laps on lap 5. It seems like 3 and 4, or even 2 are the money lap. Kennedy and Blair Wickett, the only 2 drivers so far to put up their best laps in lap 5, but it seems like lap 3 is the big one.
Tyler DiVincenzo and Patrick Friel have locked themselves into the top 10. No matter what happens from here, there's only 8 cars to go, so those 2 will be part of that invert. So nice job by them. Patrick Friel, as a part-timer, will be at the back of the top 10 with the invert, but Tyler DiVincenzo should earn himself a great starting spot.
There's your first car that will take the green, the ridge line. Lubricants, Canada Flat Roof Systems, APC sponsor 17 Chesley. That is primetime Josh Stoddy.
78's from London, the Great Lakes Concrete, sponsored by Mom, APC, Captain Crisp. You're going to have to tell me about that one. I'm not sure. I was told to bring that up. It's the 78 of Joe Lawrence.
The K&N Roofings, number 19, 2-time winner here at Delaware Speedway Weekly this year, and your track record holder, Connor Pritico, out of London in the 19. You recognize that name. He is a cousin of former series champ Matt Pritico.
And last but not least, from Cambridge, the Cambridge Rigging Transaxle H2Go Mobile Wash, number 84 is J.R. Fitzpatrick.
So everybody on the clock, you see Joe Lawrence hustling down the backstretch. I'll finish that story up if you want. So they run a bone stock program here at Delaware Speedway. They bring 8 to 10 bone stocks out of their stable here every Friday night. And somehow Chris got the name Captain Crisp. So that's why they got Captain Crisp on the car. So Chris owns the car, Mum owns the motor, Joe supplies the talent behind the wheel. It is a family affair.
And now Great Lakes Concrete provides support. So great to see on the 78. New fast time, Joe Lawrence with an 18.365 on his second lap. Didn't last long. Connor Pritico goes to the top with an 18.256. J.R. Fitzpatrick jumps to the 5th spot.
Down the front stretch, you see that 78 of Joe Lawrence working through 1 and 2 now. A great looking scheme on that car. They did a nice job wrapping that 78 machine. It had been flat black up till this point. Now, lots of color and some names on it.
White flag being displayed by Slim Jim Sean Gibbs down there in the flag stand. Connor Pritico a little bit quicker, 18.248. Lap 4 was actually a bit slower. Now let's see if any of these drivers can do better. Josh Stoddy will be the first to cross, 18.317, good enough for 3rd. Joe Lawrence drops off a little bit of time, 2 more to come. Connor Pritico loses a 1/10 of a second. Last but not least, J.R. Fitzpatrick, he runs his quickest lap at 18.372, good enough for 4th.
So you've got Connor Pritico, Joe Lawrence, Josh Stoddy, J.R. Fitzpatrick, Tyler DiVincenzo, and Patrick Friel, all locked in the top 10 now. Guys on the bubble, Ray Morneau in the 03, Shea Gemmel in the 3, Sean Chenoweth in the 89C, and the 10K of Jesse Kennedy I would say those guys just got to hope and pray right now that these 4 guys don't rip off some fast times.
I don't like their chances. First car going to hit the timing and scoring. Comes from Mount Bridges, the Pride Seeds, Reynolds Trucking Service, Vibrant Farms, Cameron Crane, number 52, Jake Sheridan.
North Country Property Maintenance and Mobile One, just a couple of the sponsors on opening race winner at Sunset. And the car of Danny Benedict, the 54-year point leader.
Making his first start this season with the APC Series from St. Thomas, the CIPG VP Specialized Carriers Pro Waste Solutions, number 7, Pete Vanderweest.
And last but not least, a winner last time out at Peterborough Speedway. APC Auto Parts Center, Can-Use Automotive Warehouse, Pennzoil, and Stewart's Equipment, just some of the sponsors on the rocket driven by Milverton's Kyle Steckley.
Jake Sheridan crosses the line to start his qualifying run. We're looking at Kyle Steckley up high through 3 and 4. He'll bring that car down the front straightaway to start his qualifying attempt.
Right now, Kennedy on the bubble, as is Chenoweth, Gemmel, and Morneau. See what happens here. Benedict, the first one to set a quick time, 9th quick, so that bumps Kennedy out of the top 10.
Yeah, there's 2 goals. One is to set fast time, but the other is just to lock into the invert and get in the top 10. And Kyle Steckley does that with the 4th quick lap.
Sheridan now breaks into the top 10, so you've got Gemmel and Morneau on the bubble.
Gemmel gets knocked off.
And we'll see if Pete Vanderweest can shuffle Ray Morneau out of that top 10. Not yet.
Jake Sheridan good enough for 7th right now.
Benedict stays 4th as he crosses the line. You see him working through turns 1 and 2. That beautiful 54 machine.
Man, there's an interesting stat I'm going to share when we get through this qualifying. As a white flag is out, 1 more lap to go. We're still waiting for Pete Vanderweest to see if he can crack into that top 10.
And I think there's a he's 12th right now. And he goes up to 11th on lap 4, but not quite quick enough. He's got 1 more crack to do it.
This is the money lap for Pete Vanderweest. Connor Pritico still atop the scoring charts. Danny Benedict comes through, and he will finish in 4th unless Vanderweest can knock him off. And Pete Vanderweest only good enough for 11th. He will not make that invert. Even if he did, he would have been 10th because he's only a part-timer, hasn't run with the series. So Connor Pritico continues a great qualifying reputation, tradition here at Delaware Speedway.
So I think you're going to see Pritico, Friel, and Morneau rounding out the back of that top 10. And I would imagine we're going to see Tyler DiVincenzo on the pole here tonight.
I believe we will. So Connor Pritico with your fast time in the 19. The 78 is Joe Lawrence. 17 of Josh Stoddy, 3rd, 54 of Danny Benedict, 4th. Kyle Steckley in the 22 rounds out the top 5.
Jared Fitzpatrick times in 6th, Jake Sheridan 7th, Tyler DiVincenzo 8th, the 18 of Pat Friel comes in 9th, and Ray Morneau holds on to that top 10.
Clinton Jeffrey has our fast qualifier down trackside.
Yeah, he's just being presented with the Epic Racewear Fast Qualifier Award here, and he gets the hat, so we'll jump in here and talk to Connor in just a second as we get a couple photos underway here, and he'll pick up the Epic Racewear Fast Qualifier Award here tonight. Connor, great drive here. It's always tough when the outside tour comes home and you got to get up on the wheel and make it work. This is a great start to your night.
Oh, it's a really good start. We struggled a bit in practice, but man, we found some for qualifying. Yeah, the guys, my crew members did a really good job on getting this thing hooked up, and it's a rocket ship, man. We'll see how we do in the race, and yeah, good start to the night.
If anything concerns you tonight, what is it?
It's just really hot and slick, but other than that, maybe just the weather, but I don't know. We'll see how the race goes.
Right on. Good job, Connor.
Thank you.
Connor Pritico, your Epic Racewear fast timer, and I'm going to jump right in here and grab my buddy Joe Lawrence. Joe, let's talk quickly. Not a bad run for you. I heard you swearing at your buddy Connor here. All in good fun. Still a great start to your night as well, bud.
Yeah, definitely. Very happy with the speed. Hopefully we got a good long run car. Practice felt really good. Made a couple of small changes. I think are going to go good in the long run here, but we'll see how it all plays out.
Let's talk quickly. New suit, new sponsor on the car. I hope Mom's still getting the love, but let's talk about these guys and how this came together quickly.
Well, quite honestly, Nick and Great Lake Concrete, they've supported me for a long time. Nick was racing limited to Sunset. When I came back from school, I went and helped him. I started out helping him, and then he had me run his other car a few times here and there, and just a great relationship grew from there. So I'm so happy to have him back on board to finish off this year, and hopefully it's a killer year for us.
Good luck tonight, Joe.
Thank you.
The 2020 champion, Joe Lawrence, going to work on his setup down here and try and get ready. And by setup, I mean get the stuff cool, get the drinks ready, get ready to go for 100 laps, guys.
It's a tightly bunched field. The comment I wanted to make, Jamie, is look at the best laps. Normally there's a trend. You know, if the fifth lap is going to be the fastest, that's the fastest for everybody. As we look through the top 10, Connor Pritico's best lap was his third lap. Lawrence's best lap was his fourth lap. Stottie's best lap was his fifth lap. Benedict's best lap was his second lap. And Steckley's best lap was his first lap.
Absolutely no rhyme or reason to it.
I've never seen that before.
No.
We've been doing this a long time. So there's an interesting little stat. And it's almost time to go feature racing with the night work design. Oscar Hot Rods. Let's take a quick break on G-Force TV, and we'll come back with the starting lineup.
When your dream car becomes a nightmare, leaving you frustrated, stranded, and broke, you say,
"Goodbye, you piece of shit. Let's take it to TKC."
What? You gotta pee?
TKC!
Let's take this piece of shit to TKC Metal Recycling. They pay cash for scrap cars.
Yahoo!
TKC will recycle your piece of car. Got a piece of car? Visit TKC Metal Recycling, 20 Cushman Road, St. Catharines.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory pasticides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Rev up your engines and get ready for some high-octane action. G-Force TV is your one-stop destination for all the best racing action across Ontario. With free live coverage of the ABC Series, Bushwick and Speedway, Southern Ontario Sprints, and much more. You won't miss a single moment of the excitement. Whether you're a die-hard fan or a casual viewer, G-Force TV has everything you need to stay up to date on the latest racing news and events. Head to our website at gforcetv.net and start watching today.
Welcome back to Delaware Speedway, where it is time to go feature racing with the Nightworks Designs Oscar Hot Rods. Before we introduce the starting lineup, race fans, last night a scary scene on the front straightaway. Steve McCall, one of the competitors, had a medical situation on the front straightaway. He was taken to a local medical facility where he currently is receiving care. Speedway management wants to thank a group effort from St. John's, the track safety team, and numerous qualified other crew members for their outstanding work last night for Steve McCaw. And our thoughts are with him as he begins his recovery. Field doubles up. To tell you who's who on the pole in the number 44. Out of Chatsworth, that's a 1964 Pontiac Laurentian. Ilium Industries, Desjardins Insurance, the sponsor for Matt Hopkins. On the outside of row number 1 in that 3 machine, that is in the 9 machine, sorry. Out of Kitchener, 1968 AMC Ambassador, that's Cole Weber in the number 9. Starting in third, it's the 86 of Nick Clark out of Teeswater and a 1969 Ford Mustang. To his outside is the 58 from Elmer. The Landshark Group 58 is Jeremy Taggart. Starting fifth in the number 6 from Oro Medonti, the Bromley Automotive. That's a 1972 Javelin number 6 of Rob Bromley. Alongside him from Oro Medonti, it's a 1966 Pontiac Beaumont. The Fox's Bakery and Deli number 2 of Tyler Hahn. We'll introduce you to the rest of the cast of characters, but we're about to go green. Two by two down to turn number 1, and they stay that way in formation off the second turn. Weaver with a good launch on the outside.
Hopkins giving him all he can handle on the bottom of that beautiful 44, but Weber rolls the top just a little better through 3 and 4. He's going to lead lap 1.
Great launch for Cole Weber. He was fast in his heat earlier on. Another car we'll watch for that was quick. Well, there was a bunch of cars that were quick, but Taggart in that 58 who goes to the outside of Clark on the backstretch. He'll pick up the 3rd spot.
I would suspect there's a problem on that Nick Clark car, the 86. Yeah, you see he's just bailing and getting out of the way. Looks like a flat left front on that 86. Tough break for the Teeswater driver.
Boy, oh boy, and did a nice job to get down out of the way. And look at Jeremy Taggart's being overtaken by Dalen Martin. Clinton, what's up?
It's something else on the 86. The left front was full when it came by, guys, so something else is wrong.
Well, now he's up and running full speed again. So, geez, you wonder if he got vapor lock or something like that.
Just wanted another pace lap. Relaxing driver on the inside of the racetrack. Now he's ready to go.
Maybe he just likes passing cars, you know. Drop back, now you make your way to the front. Weber, your early leader, but Hopkins isn't going anywhere in that 44.
He's going up the racetrack in turn number 1, that's for sure, but it doesn't seem to be causing him any problems. Got a problem on the front straightaway with that 06 machine. Not sure if he caught the wall or what.
And great battle. How about Jordan Morris, excuse me. Up into 4th, he has cleared Tyler Hahn. Hahn's going to fight back on the bottom, but looks like they've got the overheating problem fixed on the 73, and the speed problem's not too bad either.
No, he's making some speed for sure as they continue to battle door to door down through 3 and 4. The longer they stay side by side, the farther away that lead trio is going to become.
Jordan Morris out of London. Him and his dad Mel build those race cars in the backyard. He's built many bone stocks over the years, steps up to the hot rod program this year. They've got 2 cars out here tonight. Dave Rockwood behind the controls of the other one, and having a great battle with Tyler Hahn in the 2.
The battle rages on as they continue to be side by side on the front straightaway. Out in front is Cole Weber by about 2 car lengths over Dalen Martin, another 2 or 3 car lengths back to the 44 and 3rd of Hopkins.
Hopkins in that 44 having a stout run here tonight. Right now it's all Cole Weber up front. There you see Brumley side by side with the 64. Book off turn 4, and Steve Book gets it done.
25 lap feature, that's the distance for these hot rods. And the handling of these race cars will change quite a bit over the course of 25 laps. They'll heat up these tires. So the driver who's going to win this one's going to have to be a little bit patient. Tell you who's not showing a lot of patience because he is so darn fast. Dalen Martin looking to the inside of Cole Weber for the top spot.
With the 9 of Weber able to pinch him down and keep him at bay as they work through 3 and 4. Now Martin's going to go to the outside. What I find with these V8 stocks is that the longer the run goes on, it equalizes the tires between the cars. It seems like everybody's got the same long run speed, so we'll see if they stay green if that measures out today.
Problem in turn number 2. Taggart goes around in the 58 machine. It was a slow developing spin. Doesn't look like he hit anything. He gets that car pointed in the right direction and he will regroup. and catch up to the back of the field. We missed some of this starting lineup, Jamie Maudsley, so let's tell people who's driving what cars. I think we've covered the top 6 fairly well. Car number 64, it's a 1974 Camaro for Steve Book. Steve Book's out of Brantford.
And you got the 78, Dave Rockwood out of London, a normal runner here at Delaware Speedway, getting the call to drive that second car out of the Morris stables here today. And Rob Starr in the 5 out of London, longtime runner here at Delaware in the modifieds and a former late model competitor.
The 13 is Ryan Flash Cowan out of Port Perry. That's a 1959 Pontiac Bonneville. Sean Morissette doing the spotting for him here this weekend.
15, Dave Evison from West Lorne, a former winner a few weeks ago here at V8 stock action. He's a regular here at Delaware Speedway in the V8 stocks. Got a brand new motor in that car, a rebuilt motor in that car for this weekend. They just popped it in tail end last week.
We think it's Jamie Cairns in that 36. There's a duct tape 88 over top of the 36, which makes all the numbers pretty hard to read, but we're going to stick with Jamie Cairns.
Beautiful 69 Camaro. And then you got the 48 out of Woodstock, Ontario. Connor Ellis in the 68 Chevelle. Precision Specialized Tooling. WildsPrinting.com and Tracy Ellis PC 275 sponsors on that car.
The next car in line is the number 0. That's not a number at all, but out of Mount Forest, the Johns Towing 0 is Bill Clark.
Douglas Fisher out of Mount Forest in the 3. That's a 74 Nova.
That's a neat looking race car too.
And it sounds different.
That is a unique color. And of course, Jeremy Taggart in the 58.
I believe that the throwback on the paint scheme, the first thing that comes to mind, if I'm not mistaken, Junior Johnson drove a yellow car with a yellow car, red number 3.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going with. Not sure about the black stripes down it, but
I was standing next to it in the pits and just sort of thinking, man, I don't think I've ever seen that color.
No, it is it's a canary. Is it canary yellow? School bus yellow? I don't know. I don't know what you call it.
It's not.
It's almost faded out in the sun yellow is what it looks like.
But it's by design.
Yeah. It's got the neon striping at the bottom. Makes it pop a little bit. So green set to fly. JRS Auctions, your sponsor here today. They present the Nightworks Designs, Oscar Hot Rods, and into 1 and 2, it's going to be Daley Martin squeezing out front as he gets around Cole Weaver.
It'll be 15 laps to go when they cross the stripe. Cole Weaver in a side-by-side battle for the second spot with Tyler Hahn in that number 2. Hahn going to clear the Weaver number 9.
See if Weaver can fight back on the bottom here in 1 and 2. Hahn will pull away in the Tire Depot Deuce on the outside.
Does Hahn have anything for race leader Dalen Martin? Martin won last night, showed a ton of speed here tonight, and he's leading the way. That car is on a rail, Jamie.
Yeah, 3 races for the Hot Rods this year, and Martin has won 2 of them. Again, the other winner, Cole Weaver. But that 26 getting it done out front. They have got that car hooked up.
David Rockwood has gotten around his teammate. The 78 has got around the 73 of Jordan Morris. Morris now under attack from the 64 of Steve Book as they race off at turn number 2. That's a battle for the 6th spot, just out of the top 5.
Book will swing it down the Delaware Hill and tuck in the line behind Morris through 3 and 4. Both of them chasing David Rockwood in the 78.
Dalen Martin, the fastest car on the racetrack, not by a whole lot though. Only about a half a tenth of a second quicker, but if you maintain half a tenth of a second quicker every lap, you are going to get farther and farther away from the car chasing you.
And I don't think Cole Weaver is done with Tyler Hahn. That battle rages on through 1 and 2. Hahn still holds a spot and running just about half a groove higher than Weber through the corners, but it seems to be working for the Deuce.
Cowan way up the racetrack in that number 13 in turn number 2. He's got Taggart to the inside of him in the 58. That's a battle deep in the field at the front. Martin continuing to lay down those solid laps. Tyler Hahn trying to reel him in. The distance between first and second, about 5 car lengths.
Well, you see Hahn a little higher through 3 and 4. Is now the team battle going on. Jordan Morris, David Rockwood off of turn 4. Morris slides it sideways. Rockwood's going to roll the top now. Morris is going to have big trouble as Book gets to his outside into 1. Now Book will tuck back under the tire tracks of Morris. Off turn 2, they rumble. They're still both chasing Rockwood.
Morris really has his hands full with the handling on that 73 car. Last time by, Tyler Hahn was a little bit faster than the race leader. Let's see, this time, no. This time, Dalen Martin once again the fastest car out there, but the gap between first and second is now 4 car lengths.
Tyler Hahn, your all-time win leader for the Hot Rods with 12. Steve Book at second at 8. Dan Archibald third at 7th. Then it's Cole Weber who has 5. Dalen Martin came into the weekend with 4 career victories. If he can pull this off, he will go in top of Cole Weber and go to 4th overall in the all-time Hot Rod win list standings. So it's been a good weekend so far for Martin. Can he close it up? We will find out in just 3 miles.
Oh, that's math. That is math. Martin opening up a little bit on Tyler Hahn. They have pulled away from Cole Weber in the number 9. In fact, the entire top 6 have spread out a little bit. The best battle on the racetrack is Steve Book in the 64 trying to contend with Jordan Morris in the 73.
I think if it seems like these two have been going at it all race long, it's because they have Morris on the bottom. Now Book, he takes a spin up to the top. Book, the second most all-time wins in Hot Rod Series history with 8, working over Morris, who has never been to victory lane. And now Book to the outside. Looks like Morris is going to come down pit road. Tough break for the 73. Looked like they had that thing finally working right. Steve Book now has the spot, but he's a long ways behind David Rockwood.
If it was a 20-lap race, Jordan Morris would have had a solid top 10 finish.
The tough break for Morris. We'll see if they go into the hood of that car in the infield. Again, he was struggling with overheating problems all day long. They just can't get that car cool.
Both of our top 2 speeding up. Dalen Martin just ran his fastest lap of the race with 3 laps to go. Tyler Hahn pedaling as fast as he can, trying to close in on the race leader as they work off of turn 4.
Tyler Hahn might be able to get there, but I think with 2 laps to go, he definitely does not have enough time to deal with Dalen Martin. Martin having a great run again for the 2nd straight day in that 26 machine. The Brussels driver in the Mach 1 Mustang, a winner last night. Coming to the white flag, 1 to go this time by to make it a weekend sweep. Dalen Martin in the 26.
Martin leads the way down into turn number 1, drives it deep. Tyler Hahn just turned his fastest lap, 2/10 quicker than the leader. He's closing the gap about 2 car lengths between first and second.
Into 3 and 4, they work for the final time. Martin up the speedway a bit. Tyler Hahn looked to the bottom but can't get close enough to mount a challenge. It's going to be Dalen Martin completing the sweep. 2nd win in as many days. Tyler Hahn 3rd, Cole Weber 4th, Rob Brumley will come home 5th. 4th, Matt Hopkins 5th. 6th will be David Rockwood, 7th Rob Starr, 8th Steve Book, 9th Dave Everson. And after that early race spin, the 58 of Jeremy Taggart rebounds to a top 10 finish.
And now Dalen Martin will roll down to Pennzoil Victory Lane, where he'll be greeted by Clinton Jeffrey, a host of photographers, and we'll have our TrueNorth.bet winners interview. Man, that car looks good on the checkers down there.
It spent a lot of time down there in Victory Lane tonight, between tonight and last night.
1971 Mach 1 Mustang. Clinton Jeffrey is on the scene. Clinton, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Thanks a lot, Adam. Dalen Martin gets the window net down. He'll work the gloves off, and it's a hot one today, as you can imagine, in that pressure cooker. But he handled the pressure perfectly here tonight, as we've seen him pick up a win here in the past on G-Force. And as we know, this car is so fast, so good. And we'll work Dalen Martin out of the car. Tyler Hahn and Cole Weber also here in victory lane. We get ready to jump in and talk to Dalen Martin as he'll take a nice cold drink of water and get ready to jump out and greet all you viewers and all the fans here live at Delaware Speedway as we celebrate Canada Day. How about it for Dalen Martin, ladies and gentlemen? He's going to get that Canada flag going, as you know. Dalen Martin, get all the pictures for the photographers, and we'll jump in here and get him in just a second. Come on down, Dalen. He'll work his way to the front. We'll get a quick word with him. Dalen, what a drive here today. I mean, this car just loves Delaware. You're so quick here. What can you say about your afternoon?
We unloaded the and it was just as good as yesterday, and we were really happy. Made a few small changes and see if we could make it better. I think it worked. Had a good drive. We were can't complain. We're happy with it. Joe Chisholm did well up there. Kept me cool, kept me calm. Helped us get the lead there and hold it for the last bit.
Great job. Congrats.
Thank you.
Dalen Martin picks up the win, guys. Give us a second. We'll jump in here with Tyler Hahn and Cole Weber.
Tyler's finish, his fastest laps were the last 2 laps of that race, just not quite enough to catch up to the 26. He's with Clinton Jeffrey now.
Thanks, guys. Well, Ty, pretty good run for you. I mean, that Dalen Martin car is fast. So anytime you can finish second to that, I know you want to be better, but still a solid run here at Delaware on a super hot day, man.
Yeah, the car's running pretty hot. I have a problem with overdriving this place. I don't have a lot of experience here. But, like, the car just loves it. So, but yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. You know, it's hard to beat this guy with a big Ford motor, you know. There's other things I could say, but we're not going to. But anyway, yeah, man. So we had a good day today and pretty happy with our outcome.
Right on, Ty. Appreciate it. Second place, Tyler Hahn goes second, guys. We'll get right over here with third.
You know, it's quite often what they don't say, Jamie, and not what they do say. You ever notice that?
Definitely.
Clinton Jeffrey is caught up with Cole Weber, our third place finisher.
Cole, solid drive today. I mean, you were up at the front for the most of this one. Still finished third. Is that something you can be happy about?
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I got to thank OK Tire, Bert McCall, Chuck Lawler, Bill Alderson, Jeff Huber Construction. They all put a lot into this, but we struggled this weekend a bit. We just didn't seem to have the speed. We were off a little bit all weekend. Coming out with a third, we're pretty happy for what happened last night. So, yeah, we're pretty happy.
Right on. Cole Weber will finish third. Guys, second will be Tyler Hahn, and your winner here, Dalen Martin, picks up another one. We'll be right back live on Canada Day here on G-Force TV from Delaware Speedway.
For over 100 years, our company has been unique, a world leader in high-precision products, fully committed to energy efficiency and friction reduction. Today is the day to start a new chapter, a new step of our company. Today is the day to share our vision, our contribution, our identity. At the heart of our DNA, there is a name: Namerica. We are NTN, and we make the world Namerica. We are all together. We design precision engineering. We believe in a fluid, mobile, and harmonious society. We build positive mobility. We are NTN, and with willingness, conviction, and humility, we make the world Namerica.
Get ready to experience the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour. Join your host and wingman Cam K every Monday night at 7 p.m. on G-Force TV for an hour of non-stop excitement and in-depth analysis of the hottest racing series around. From the latest race highlights to expert analysis and insider commentary, you'll get an exclusive look at everything you need to know about the NASCAR Pinty Series. Tune in for the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour, the ultimate destination for race fans everywhere.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory potato sides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
The APC series on GeForce TV is brought to you by Mighty Wipes, the strongest wipe around. And by NTN, delivering the ultimate bearing experience.
Welcome back to Delaware Speedway, where it is time to go OSCAR Modified Racing. Some of the field is out on the racetrack behind the pace car. Problems for the 4 machine down there on pit road, slowing things down for some of the cars coming out, but really a bigger problem for the driver of that machine.
I think they got the push buggy coming for him. There you see Jamie Cox had a flat tire last night after contact with Norman Newman. Ended up restarting halfway through, about half a lap behind the field. Did race through for a decent finish, but had his hands tied by running halfway behind the field for a number of laps before getting that yellow.
Let's give you the starting lineup for this modified feature event. On the pole out of London, the Sloan Stone Design, Melcher's Construction, All City Paintless Dent Repair, number 22 of Marshall Schrank.
Beside him will be the 3 car, sponsored by JR Group out of Dorchester. That is Jamie Cox.
Now scheduled to start either second or third. He's been pushed off and he's headed towards the field now. Car number 4 of Jeff Schauler.
Next up, the 11, Family Funland Somerville Golf Club D3 Off-Road. From Kincardine, the 11 of Norman Newman.
Man, I've got my new glasses on and I still can't tell, but I think that's the 81. Overkill Enterprise, Ontario Modular Solutions, 81 of Tyler Liscombe.
39 out of Arcona, Harrington Excavating, Arcona Canada Welding Supplies, Stone Picker Brewing Company, some of the sponsors for Brian Batty in the 39.
The 88D is from Wardsville, the Darrell Dick Excavating Still Searching for Others sponsored, number 88D of Ryan Dick.
I like that. The 18, Oakville Machine, the sponsor on that 18, former Canada Vintage Modified champion out of Oakville, Jason Keane.
The 1 machine comes from Guelph, the Paul Townsend Tools. Snap-on Tools number 1 is Paul Townsend.
The winner last night in the 34, former series champ. Back in 2021, he picked up his 4th career feature win last evening on his 30th birthday. The 34 from Guelph, just foam at JT Excavating and Stewart Farm Equipment, the sponsor for TJ Edwards.
The 48 comes from St. Thomas, the London Metal Duck Supply sponsored entry. That's Dave Mathers.
Rockville Farms, SGR Plumbing, and Blackjack Express. From Shelburne in the 51, it's the Dale Reinhardt.
69 machine out of Owen Sound, the Have1.com, the Fireplace and Patio Center, number 69, it's Wally Wilson.
Crysdale Racing Products, the major sponsor on the 46, former Vintage Modified driver Steve Trendell.
And then rounding out the field in the number 7 out of Durham, the RKS Electric, Roy Marr Demolition, Just Foam It, Spray Foam Insulation, number 7 of Alvin McNichol.
And we're going to wave this time by, so everybody get your hands up, something white, something bright, seat cushion, hat. Your neighbor, if he's light enough. These drivers will wave back. They're getting set to go. JRS Auctions, the presenting sponsor here tonight. Our 30-lap feature for the Just Foam It OSCAR Modifieds.
Man, there's some fast cars all through this field. I mean, Jamie Cox just had monstrous horsepower in the heat races in that 3 machine and lots of experience here at Delaware Speedway. Marshall Schrank, though, as well, in the 22, showed a lot of speed.
The 4, every time he's out there, he's been getting a little bit faster. Again, Jeff Schauler, longtime competitor here at Delaware Speedway. 5 years off, but has knocked the rust off.
London Custom Basement Z-Air Heating and Air Conditioning, Specialized Tooling, number 4 of Jeff Schauler. Give them all their recognition when we announced them.
Other one to watch, of course, last night's winner, TJ Edwards, former series champ in the 34. He was quick last night. Great battle up front for the win between him and Ryan Dick. They're both going to have their work cut out for him tonight, starting deep in the pack, but we got 30 laps to get it done. Green in the air, Schrank squirts away Cox will follow him down into 1. They keep Schauler shuffled on the high side.
Schauler bobbled a little bit off of turn number 4. It's going to cost him that second spot as Jamie Cox squirts through for second. Schauler will settle into 3rd, where Norman Newman has some company from Tyler Liscombe in the 81.
Liscombe on the bottom, but swinging out top, it's Brian Batty. We saw how quick that car was in heat race action tonight. Batty's going to close the deal on Liscombe, give him P5 off turn 4, or turn 2.
Last night's winner, TJ Edwards in the 34, is in a mire of traffic back there, working to the outside of Andy Dick, and now looking to the outside of Jason Keane off of turn 4.
Great overhead look of our top 5 streaming down into turn 1. They're all single file. Oh, now we got Liscombe up out of the groove. Nice save to keep it out of the fence. Cost him a lot of positions, but he saved the race car.
Absolutely did. He is out of the top 10 at this point, but still in the hunt.
Big problems for Alvin McNichol. He just went down the front stretch. Does not sound like that motor is under full song. He's going to get lapped by the field off of turn 2. Big problems for Durham's Alvin McNichol.
Marshall Schrank leads them off of turn number 4. Jamie Cox right behind. They've got a 5-car length advantage over Jeff Schauler in the 4, and then a gap back to Norman Newman in the number 11. TJ Edwards slowly picking away the gaps.
Brian Batty putting the heat on Norman Newman now down into 3 and 4. Batty's going to get the position in the 39. On the bottom, Batty back to the throttle, but Newman rolls the high side and keeps him at bay.
Batty drives it deep into the corner once again, and he'll get the advantage off of turn 2. Move Brian Batty up into the 4th position, and Jason Keane fires that car up the inside into 3.
Keane to the inside of the 11 of Newman. He's got TJ Edwards right on the back door. They work through 1 and 2. Edwards right there. Keane will clear Newman. Now he'll bring Edwards with him.
Newman hung up on the high side. He's got Dick on the inside in the 88D. Right behind him is Reinhardt. Right behind him is Trendle. So he needs to find a spot to get back down to the inside lane. But right now there's nothing doing out there for Norman Newman.
Had the split screen there. Great battle up front. And Reinhardt just giving it to the back bumper of Dick down into 3. Now Reinhardt will swing underneath Newman. Looks like Newman's backslide might still continue as Trendell's going to take a whack, but now Newman gets in line.
Steve Trendle's been struggling with the 46 car's been very fast, but it's only comfortable for that driver up on the high side. He's struggling to keep it down on the bottom, and that's where he's going to have to make this move on Norman Newman. So he'll set out to make that attempt. Further up in the field, TJ Edwards having a look to the inside of Jason Keane.
And your leader out front is still Marshall Schrank. Jamie Cox dogging him. Now Cox takes a peek to the inside in 3 and 4. Schrank's run quite a few laps here at Delaware, not near the experience of the 3 of Cox. Cox to the bottom, and Cox in that Canusa APC JR Group sponsored entry. Now wheel to wheel with Schrank off turn 2.
Down the back straightaway they go. This battle has allowed Schauler to close the gap. He sends it down into turn 3.
What a move by Jeff Schauler. He is not out of the picture yet as he works Schrank off. Can't get it done. Has to tuck back in line. And that will allow Jamie Cox to just waltz away from the pair.
He gave back a lot of the ground he made up when he came off of turn number 4. They touched wheels, and he had his hands full of steering wheel out there, but he's closing back in once again. In his rearview mirror, he can see Batty in that 39 closing the gap on him.
Brian Batty having a good day, definitely better than last night. He's already been to heat race victory lane here this evening. And Jamie Cox now doing what he does best, just stretching it out and get that lead out to about a second and just save his equipment. TJ Edwards, great battle still going on between him and Jason Keane. That's down into turn 1 right behind this duo, Schauler and Batty.
2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, all in a pack through 3 and 4 out in front. Jamie Cox with a little bit of breathing room. Not a huge advantage, but comfortable out there for Cox.
Edwards takes a peek to the inside of Keane again. Edwards is a little quicker, but Keane, that car handles down the straightaway so well.
That's where you want it to handle, that's for sure, is in that straight line. They'll work through 3 and 4. Edwards closes in. On the clock, Schrank a little bit faster that time than Jamie Cox.
Question is just how hard that 3 is pushing. He's going to have lap traffic to deal with soon. This is the best battle on the Speedway. Keane and Edwards still going at it. Hammer and tongs off turn 4.
Edwards really able to get back to the throttle, keep that car down on the inside lane where he wants it, but as you continue to mention, Keane just really fast on the straightaway.
Once it hits that power band, that 18 picks the front wheels up, I think, and sets sail on the 34. They work under the 69 of Wally Wilson.
Wilson giving the leaders plenty of room out there, the sportsman-like thing to do.
As now you see that battle for third. Schauler has it, Batty wants it, and then right behind them, still going at it. They have been for the last 5 or 6 laps. Keane and Edwards getting it on.
Little bit of space out there as Batty gets loose going into turn number 1. Look at the distance he loses just from that little bobble going into the corner.
Schauler now trying to reel those front 2 in, but Schrenk and Cox having none of it. TJ Edwards still all over Jason Keane. That's all Keane can see in that rearview mirror is TJ Edwards' little eyes looking at him.
Looks like Dave Mather's going to call it a night in that black number 48. He turns into the pit area on the back straightaway. On the racetrack, Jamie Cox is not the fastest car on the track the last couple of laps. Marshall Schrenk is turning faster laps. He just turned one in the 18-second bracket, the first 18-second lap we've seen in this feature race.
Less than 10 to go.
Or sorry, not the first, but the only one we've saw of the lead lap car is that lap. Just had a moment, I'm sorry.
JRS Auctions presenting this 30-lapper for the Oscar Just Foam It Modifieds. Victory Lane today will be sponsored by Queenston Chevrolet. And just 8 laps to go to get there. Jamie Cox looks like he's got the inside track right now, but 8 laps is a long time here at Delaware Speedway.
Schrenk just a hair faster the last number of laps. According to our electronic timing and scoring, as he closes in, we can now measure it in car lengths, about 5 car lengths between the top 2 cars. Jamie Cox, he's won a lot of races. He knows what it takes to get to the end, but 6 laps this time when they cross the start-finish line.
2, 3, and 4 the work. Cox in the 3. Should have the super stock done later on this summer. They said they are close. We will be competing here at Delaware as well as on the Quick Wick Tour in that car, but had the chance to bust the old modified out here tonight and did, this weekend and did. And, well, he looked good last night. He's looking even better this evening.
Marshall Schrenk, though, just reeled off his best lap of the race, 2/10 quicker than our race leader, and he has now closed it within a car length. Schrenk is there as there's 5 laps remaining.
On the backstretch, they'll hustle underneath the Coca-Cola Bud Light scoreboard into 3 and 4. They'll work. Cox still leads, but Marshall Schrenk right there in the 22. Schrenk, a pro late model regular here at Delaware Speedway, pulling the modified out for the weekend and going after the legend Jamie Cox for the win.
They're going to close in on Paul Townsend. Jamie Cox will have to swing to the outside in the middle of 3 and 4 to put Townsend a lap down. Right behind him is Marshall Schrenk.
Townsend will lift getting down into 1, and Schrenk's got to go the long way around Townsend, and this cost him a couple car lengths. You can see it on the screen. It cost him a couple car lengths, and now we got Keane off the pace down the backstretch. Reinhardt challenging him.
Yeah, Jason Keane caught the backstretch wall, had his hands full of steering wheel out there. Meanwhile, back at the front, as they're going to get the white flag this time. Schrenk closing in. Lap traffic going to play a part. Wally Wilson a few car lengths out ahead of Jamie Cox.
Cox slides off turn 4. That'll allow Schrenk to close up. Schrenk within a car length and a half. Down to a car length and a quarter. Off turn 2 for the final time. It's going to come down to the last half lap. Cox will lead into 3.
Down into turn 3, Marshall Schrenk enters the turn up high. Can he cross him over on corner exit? No, it's going to be Jamie Cox over Marshall Schrenk second. Third going to go to Schauler. Fourth, the Batty. Fifth to TJ Edwards. And what a moment Jamie Cox had coming to the white flag, Jamie. That car was all kinds of sideways.
Marshall Schrenk, he had that 22 car fast here tonight. Just not quite fast enough to get by the 3, and it's been a while since we've seen him in victory lane, but he knows where to go. That's for sure. Queenston Chev, Victory Lane sponsor for the Just Foam at Modifieds. And Jamie Cox in the 3 is going to head down to Victory Lane to talk to our Clint Jeffries. A great run by Jamie Cox as he returns here to Victory Lane at Delaware.
And a big thank you to JRS Auctions for presenting this weekend's Oscar classes. Clinton Jeffrey is on the scene. The top 3, they started in the top 3, they finished in the top 3, and all 3 very familiar with Delaware Speedway. Clinton Jeffrey, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Thanks. I'm Jamie Cox working down here. We'll get the helmet off. Dave Frank's putting on the feature win sticker. Jamie will work to get the bucket off here, and we'll get a word with him as soon as he climbs out. And passes the bucket out the window. A nice cold drink of water coming in for Jamie. He'll get the belts off and get ready to jump out here and talk to us. And you guys talked about what a spirited finish that was. Bit of a gulper on that last lap. We'll watch and see what he has to say when he climbs on out. Hans device will come off, and we're just about ready to get him out. How about it, Delaware Speedway, for your Oscar modified winner, Jamie Cox. Come on around front, Jamie. We'll get a word with you here. Jamie, what a drive here today. You know, they were trying. Marshall came back to you at the end there and was really trying to put his moves on you. At the end, you managed to pull this one off. Not bad for just pulling it out of the weeds.
Yeah, we've had it out and practiced it, and last year just a few laps on it. And no, it's tough racing against these guys just to come out here and try do it. But this thing, my spotter told me Marshall was coming, and I'm just trying to drive it. And it's like, I'm not giving this up.
And you didn't. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Jamie Cox picks up the win here in the Oscar Modifieds, guys. Solid run for that car number 3.
Marshall Schrank, who came home in second place, his eyes must have been enormous as they were coming to the white flag, and he saw Jamie Cox get sideways. He got oh so close, couldn't quite mount a challenge, and Marshall Schrank is with Clinton Jeffrey.
How this, how you must have been excited when you seen Jamie have trouble coming to the white flag. Do you get a little bit wide-eyed there?
Yeah, I seen the opportunity, but, you can't be mad running second to your childhood hero. So, I just got to thank everybody on the car here, Sloan Stone Design, Melcher's Construction, London Music Hall, All City Paintless Dent Repair, Oxford Dodge, Alfa Romeo of London, Maserati of London, Front to Back Motors, and Salas Plumbing and Heating.
You hit them all. Congratulations. Marshall Schrank, second guys here tonight. Great run for him in the Oscar Modifieds.
Unofficial statistic, if you add the ages of all of the crew people of the 4 Jeff Schaller, it still doesn't amount to how old Jamie Cox is.
Jeff, solid run here today. We were following your story a little bit, talking about you just... how's things going, man? What a drive tonight.
Yeah, car ran good. We had a little bit of overheating issue, but the car got loose at the end, and I couldn't make it stick to get it to these guys. Marshall and Jamie, congratulations to him. He did an awesome job. We got to thank London Custom Basements for coming on board, Zed Air. Everybody who helps out, all these guys who work hours on the car. It's my first time back since 2018, so I've been watching the karts, as you know, with the kids, and it's been a lot of fun. But it's good to race against these guys, and I love this class, and this is my home track, so, 20 years of racing here, and it's good to be back.
Awesome job. Jeff Schaller, guys, will grab third. Marshall Schrank will be second. And your winner tonight, Jamie Cox, picks up the win here in the Oscar Modifieds. We'll be right back live here on G-Force TV from Delaware Speedway.
For over 100 years, our company has been unique, a world leader in high-precision products, fully committed to energy efficiency and friction reduction. Today is the day to start a new chapter, a new step of our company. Today is the day to share our vision, our contribution, our identity. At the heart of our DNA, there is a name: Namerica. We are NTN, and we make the world Namerica. We are all together. We design precision engineering. We believe in a fluid, mobile, and harmonious society. We build positive mobility. We are NTN, and with willingness, conviction, and humility, we make the world Namerica.
Rev up your engines and get ready for some high-octane action. GeForce TV is your one-stop destination for all the best racing action across Ontario. With free live coverage of the APC Series, Bushwick and Speedway, Southern Ontario Sprints, and much more. You won't miss a single moment of the excitement. Whether you're a die-hard fan or a casual viewer, GeForce TV has everything you need to stay up to date on the latest racing news and events. Head to our website at geforcetv.net and start watching today.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
The APC Series on GeForce TV is brought to you by Pinty's, making great food fun. And by Quick Wick, the world's best fire starter.
Welcome back to Delaware Speedway, where we're about to see some late models rolling onto the racetrack to get staged for the Spectra Premium 100. This Canada Day spectacular. You can see some of the tent starting to come down on pit road. That's always a sign things are about to get rolling. And while we've got a moment, let's take a look at our upcoming calendars. On GeForce TV, our Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet upcoming calendar. Tomorrow night, we're at Humberstone Speedway for the Southern Ontario Sprints and the Action Sprint Tour. That is tomorrow night, July 2nd. July 15th, we head to Flamborough Speedway for the London Recreational Racing 100. And then August 5th, on the long weekend in August, we head to Sauble Speedway for 100 laps with the APC Series. And, of course, don't forget, every Friday night you can catch Ohsweken Speedway. What we'd like to see is you fans all out here at Delaware Speedway and secretly have your phones out watching the action from Ohsweken Speedway on GeForce TV. That way you can get the best of both worlds. Upcoming events here at Delaware Speedway. July 7th is the Super Stocks, V8 Stocks, and Bone Stocks. July 14th, the Ontario Sportsman Series comes to town. They'll be on the card with the late models and the V8 Stocks. And then July 21st is the Pro Late Model, Super Stocks, Bone Stocks, and a King of the Hill spectator race. And, of course, don't forget, July 28th, I believe, 28th and 29th, the Monster Truck Throwdown. Monster trucks always bring the fans. That's our Quick Wick Fire Starter upcoming events for right here at Delaware Speedway.
I got Ray Morneau Jr. here, guys. Ray, welcome back home. Are you welcoming us to your home track? Cool to be here, but we talked a bit about on our talk show this week. What's it like when the tour comes home and all the guys come back here to battle at kind of your turf? Do you feel you're the home team here tonight?
Yeah, I think there's a handful of us here, and being at our hometown, we gotta try and do our hometown guys a favor here and try and run good. So we qualified decent. I think we're starting 8th here, so we got a decent starting spot. Fall in line, and then ride it out and see where we are at the end of the feature.
What's that one trick that you've got up your sleeve that maybe the other teams from outside don't know? Is it going to be tire management tonight? Is it going to be how the temperature changes? What's that one trick maybe you think you got on these guys? They've already set it up, so you can't help them now.
I'm hoping it's tire management. We'll see. Like I said, we'll find out right about lap 60 to 70 if I'm sideways off the corner and falling back, or we're digging toward the front.
Right on. Talk to us for the right reasons. Ray Morneau Jr., guys, getting ready to roll his car out to the grid.
And Clint, we've got to give our thoughts to Ray Morneau's grandfather, Randy's father, who is in the hospital right now. And we hope that he gets feeling better really soon. Cars continue to roll off pit road. Earlier on tonight, Clinton had a chance to catch up with Danny Benedict, the winner of the opening round this season at Sunset Speedway. Here's what he had to say.
Guys, today I caught up with Danny Benedict, point leader. Danny, kind of been a great season for you. You know, you come out and win the opener, just maintaining, having good podium finishes. What are you guys working on today?
Yeah, just trying to keep stability in the car and working on mostly the driver. Delaware is a tough track for me. I don't have a lot of laps here, but definitely made a lot of gains in the last couple of years. So just trying to get some stability and waiting to see what this track does tonight, man. It's really hot right now, and it's going to cool off, and it's going to change tonight. So hopefully we can just be patient and hopefully make our way to the front.
So is that balance in concentrating on qualifying and also making sure you're good at the tough, because it's an impound deal? You know, how do you bridge that gap?
Well, we don't really focus too much on qualifying. You know, there's no points for it, there's no payout for it. So, you know, as long as we can make the top 10, we're going to hit the invert. So that's kind of our goal. But definitely, you know, always in the back of your head, you want to win the race, and that's what you try to set the car up for. So that's what we're doing.
Right on, guys. He's been having a great season so far. Watch for Danny Benedict here as he tries to maintain the point lead coming out of Delaware.
Always good to hear from the drivers. As they continue to line up on the front straightaway. Let's sneak in another quick break here on GeForce TV, and when we come back, it'll be soon time for pre-race festivities here at Delaware Speedway.
When your dream car becomes a nightmare, leaving you frustrated, stranded, and broke, you say,
Goodbye, you piece of Let's take it to TKC.
What? You gotta pee?
TKC!
Let's take this piece of to TKC Metal Recycling. They pay cash for scrap cars.
TKC will recycle your piece of car. Got a piece of car? Visit TKC Metal Recycling, 20 Cushman Road, St. Catharines.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory pasticides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Rev up your engines and get ready for some high-octane action. GeForce TV is your one-stop destination for all the best racing action across Ontario. With free live coverage of the APC Series, Bushwick and Speedway, Southern Ontario Sprints, and much more. You won't miss a single moment of the excitement. Whether you're a diehard fan or a casual viewer, GeForce TV has everything you need to stay up to date on the latest racing news and events. Head to our website at GeForceTV.net and start watching today. The APC Series on GeForce TV is brought to you by Tiffany Gate. Indulge in a world of fresh meals, sides, salads, and more.
Welcome back to live to GeForce TV. We're standing here with Josh Dottie. Josh, what a drive today. Sun's going down. Things are going to change quite a bit. Talk about what you think's going to happen here in this next 100 laps.
Yeah, I mean, you look in the rear view, we got lots of fast cars behind us, but Delaware's done a fantastic job putting everything together for Canada Day weekend. We're pumped to be back here and really hoping that we have a solid run here and hopefully bring the checkered home.
This seems like a love-hate relationship for a lot of guys. They love it here, or they're not comfortable here. Where do you sit into that realm?
I love coming here. It's definitely, these cars, there's so much technology in them, so to dial it in, if you're out by a little bit, the car seems like it's off a lot, but hopefully we can dial it in here and go 100 laps and bring that checkered in.
All right, there you have it, guys, from Josh Dottie, the Ridgeline 17 here tonight, getting ready to roll.
You know, interesting point that Josh makes there, Clinton. Drivers love coming to Delaware Speedway. It's a big track. The way it's laid out, there's people all around you. It's an exciting place to be. But this track doesn't always love drivers. It's a tricky place. It's tough to get around fast. It's tough to keep your car going for the full 100 laps and still be quick at the end. So it can be a real frustrating place for these drivers. But the people who are good here, Clinton, man, there's something special. There's been some fantastic drivers here at Delaware Speedway who know how to battle it out. And I can see that you're standing with one of them right now.
Yeah, you took my lead in a way. It was a perfect segue. Jake, you know, we've seen you have great runs here. We've seen you have frustrating runs here. We've seen you have a big crash right where you're sitting right now. You know, how do you feel tonight getting ready to go?
Decent. I mean, we practiced really, really well. We missed the boat a little bit in qualifying, but it's just kind of all part of this game when you got to, you know, stay, you can't really work on after qualifying. So it's all good. I mean, we probably should have won this race 3 or 4 times now, but it doesn't really matter right now. We just got to focus on today, and we got a good piece. It's nice to see the front starting up here, so as long as we can keep it underneath us here, we're just fighting a little loose there in the heat. So if this helps us in the nighttime, I think we'll have a good piece.
What's your hometown advantage? What's that one piece of knowledge you maybe have or technology that these guys aren't going to be able to put to use tonight, or that little bit of Delaware magic that you may have that the outsiders may not?
I feel like we're really getting away from that. Also, you look at how strong, like, you know, obviously JR put on a really big dominating show at Flamborough there a couple weeks ago, but you see guys come here, and in the past, you guys go to Flamborough and Sunset now, even guys are really catching on, so they all come practice here anyways. Unfortunately, we haven't been quite on top of our game with testing this year, so they all come practice here, and they're all really, really good race car drivers, and they got really, really good cars. These cars are so similar anymore, it's getting pretty tough. Everyone's a good driver. It's getting pretty dominant about the cars. So we'll see what happens here. The outside lane, maybe a bit of an advantage to run here locally, but other than that, I think you just got to have a big old set of kahunas and get after it.
All right, they're here from Jake Sheridan, guys. It's going to take some big testicle fortitude today to get it done.
You went there.
Why wouldn't I?
Well, that's true. Hey, he said it. You're just playing off. We mirror and reflect what we're told by the drivers. But Sheridan's always exciting, and I think he made a great point, Clinton. We are at the point. I would say Delaware, more than any other racetrack, has a home field advantage. So drivers that have a ton of laps here do have an advantage here at Delaware. But for the most part, all of these tour racers are so good everywhere we go, they really don't have any glaring weak spots. What's the attitude like down there on the racetrack, Clinton? These teams have had a little bit of time as they wait for the tail end of the field to get lined up here on the front stretch. Do people seem relaxed? Is there any tension going on? They all look to be pretty light.
I think they're pretty relaxed. You know, we got some of the most intense teams here on the deal down here, and they're just laughing. The big thing is how they're going to handle the heat. We're looking at J.R. Fitzpatrick here as he talks with the Steckley crew, and we may jump in here and steal him over here. J.R., let me steal you for a second. Adam's asking how the attitude is down here. You know, it was hot earlier today. We got a bit of cloud cover now, and the heat kind of settled down a bit. What's the attitude on the track tonight?
So my attitude or everybody's?
Well, I want yours first, and then you can tell us how everybody else is feeling.
I actually feel pretty good today. You know, Delaware Speedway is not one of my best tracks. I love coming here. I'm just not that good here. A lot of great regulars are here. But I'm having a good time. I'm having a lot of fun. The car is consistent, and honestly, man, all the races that the APC Tour has done this year, we've all raced with a ton of respect. We haven't wrecked any cars. So hopefully we get through here tonight and everybody can still look at each other and smile.
To laugh because that's the announcer curse and you just said it. But, JR, let's talk about what makes Delaware a difficult place, and what's the magic that you're maybe missing?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out, right? It's very line sensitive with the new asphalt and just guys that race here all the time. It's no different when I go to Flamborough, right? I just have a line there that works for me, and a lot of the Delaware regular guys are just really good here at finding that groove, and so I'll just tag along behind one of them and try and learn something and see if we can have another good run.
Yeah, you're just going to follow, guys. I'm sure I'll believe that.
Lap 6, I'll go.
There you have it from J.R. Fitzpatrick, guys. We saw a dominant performance at Flamborough, but we'll see what he can do here at Delaware.
You know, I felt bad, Jamie. You left here with the track microphone. You were going to go give some stuff away. The last thing I said, well, that worked through our system, and we thought it would. And then when I couldn't hear you, I'm like, uh-oh. We're going to have dueling announcers on the PA at the same time.
I could hear us coming out of commercials, and I'd pretty much given everything away at that point. And get this, Joe Chisholm turned down Pepperettes. 2/10 Joe, I've been calling him because that's what he said he's worth as a spotter.
So Joe Jr.
Joe Jr., yep. 2/10 Chisholm turned him down.
Really?
Said he's down 18 pounds, so good for him.
Good for him. That's awesome.
He said at the start of the year he had to push the race car once, and he said he was sore for 3 days.
I believe that. It's a lot of work.
Those race cars are heavy.
They are. Even though they got round tires and they roll, it takes a little bit to get them rolling. So what are we going to see, Jamie?
I think we're going to see 100 great laps of racing here tonight. Hope the folks down in the APC tent are having a good time down in Turn 1. Make some noise. Come on, APC folks. I know you can do better than that. Make some noise down there in the tent. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself. Lots of cool stuff going on here at the Speedway. Well, we've got a couple minutes and we're lining the cars up. We've got kettle corn available. Ice cream truck has rolled in. I already taste tested the ice cream at the bottom and the top of the hill earlier on tonight, Adam. Both passed quality control.
Attaboy.
Some great APC and Nightwork Designs souvenirs down there in the Turn 1 area. And we've really turned this Canada Day event into the second coolest event of the summer here at Delaware Speedway. Crew's done a really good job in building this event up. A great crowd here last night for night 1. And another super crowd here tonight for night 2. So good job of the staff here at Delaware Speedway building this event up. And it should be just dynamite here this evening.
You know, it doesn't come easily, but one thing track management at Delaware Speedway has always been good at doing over the years, over different sets of track managers, is bringing in the big race feel. It feels like a big event when things are special here. Like, look around the hill, all the way down between turns 1 and 2. There's people at the top of the hill. There's tents and flags and commotion.
Some of the truest words about the Speedway, I think, and you were part of this conversation. The Pinty Series had come back. It was 2009, and you and I and Don Thompson's brother were at the top of the hill.
Dennis.
And Dennis said, he looked at us and he went, this feels like a racetrack. And that's just the feeling you get when you walk in here. This place just feels like a racetrack. And, again, great crowd here. Delaware always comes out in numbers. And could you get over the amount of campers that were here? I mean, we know Great Canadian Weekend, it's going to be full, but look at all the people camping here for Canada Day.
It's fantastic. Where else would you want to be? Clinton Jeffrey is down on the racetrack. Not sure who he's caught up with, but I'm sure it'll be interesting.
I got Pete Vanderwist here. Pete, moving up from the Super Stocks up to the APC late models this year, and great to have you up. How you feeling tonight?
Pretty good. I mean, we were second fastest in practice and qualifying. The staggers just on the tires closed up big time, tightened the car up real bad. So we'll just have to see what we can do with some tire pressure and trying to get to the stagger back and see if we can get a car that can roll through the corner again.
Now you know your way around this way quite a bit. What's the hot setup tonight? Where's the quick way?
You know, I mean, I've obviously been running here for a lot of years. So we took a 13-year break, came back the last couple of years, and we've got a line down in 3 and 4 that I think works pretty good with the car. We made quite a few adjustments when we came from the start of practice today, and we were able to find a nice line, a comfortable line that I think we can drive for 100 laps. So we'll just see. I mean, 100 laps for this old-timer from the 35 laps that we have been doing is quite a stint, especially in this hot weather.
You'll be fine. Good luck, Pete.
Thanks, pal.
Pete Vanderwest getting ready for driver intros, guys, and we'll be ready for that in about 3 to 4 minutes, I think.
He's a former late model champ here at Delaware Speedway, in fact, winner of the Great Canadian as well.
And he has traveled all up and down the eastern seaboard chasing races, of course, in the old Hooters Cup Series.
And one CASCAR win to his credit at Cayuga Speedway. It was a rainy day. I remember that. I remember there was a rain delay at one point. And I believe he bested Pete Gibbons to win that one.
A rainy day at Cayuga? No.
And you know what? It was one of my favorite paint schemes on a car. It was that silver and blue X-Side car. If you remember, it had kind of a funky, jagged look to the front. It was just a beautiful-looking race car, and Pete Vander was victorious that day at Cayuga Speedway.
So we can see the dignitaries are down on the front straightaway. The big boss, Luke Ramsey, Alex Nagy is down there. That's a lot of brain power. Remember to turn the pen back on, Jamie. Can we get a shot of the victory lane?
It's right there. But look at this. All back up here. Campers, campers, campers.
It's a lot of campers. I can't believe you're the one just running with the telestrator. You can see some of the modified competitors, hot rod competitors, pulling out of the infield while the track is still open. Yeah, we got a new toy this week. And really, all season long, we've been talking, Clinton talks about his new gadgets that he gets to run around the racetrack with, and everybody gets new stuff except the announcers up in the tower, and that makes us happy.
We get in touch with our inner John Madden.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's
Just
the mojo.
Without the booms and bangs.
If I can figure it out, I will draw a turducken.
My favorite was, and this is going back to when it first came out in the mid-'80s, he diagrammed the Gatorade around the end when it first became popular to dump Gatorade on the coaches.
Well, it's all part of it. You've got to illustrate to people what's going on.
And you can wager money on whether the Gatorade's going to be red or yellow or blue. Vegas will take that.
I mean, that's crazy. Craziness. It is time to meet the starting lineup for tonight's Spectra Premium 100. We start at the back of the field, rolling off 22nd from Mount Bridges, the London Drive Systems Maple City Tire 77. It's Darrell Lake.
And in 21st on the grid, he drives his Simon Innovations number 45. I call him the mayor of West Lorne. It is Barry Watson, a Delaware regular.
Starting 20th from Ohsweken, the Ohsweken Speedway, Glenn Stiers Racing number 0, Glenn Stiers.
In 19th spot, he's out of Dundas, Ontario, the AJ&J Furniture, SDR Seating. Stage it with style, number 74, Eric De La Riva.
On camera, it's very much like a Where's Waldo.
There's Eric.
They're going to come down. Promise they're going to come down. Starting 18th from Pickering, the Real Landscaping Plus Langeal Metal Recycling number 94, Corey Luciano.
Already an epic fast time winner on the year. He drives the Rymar Mini Storage Shaw Motorsports number 97 from Dundas. It's the Polar Blair Wickett.
On the outside of row number 8, from Guelph, the Burn Workwear PV Mart Epic Racewear 72, Junior Farley. See, the greeting line gets a little bit bigger with each passing driver.
Starting 15th tonight, he's 6th in points in the Graham Family Auto Car Quest Gingrich Service Center. Tom Gibbons Concrete finishing number 10. From Southampton, Ontario, it's Tom Gibbons.
Starting 14th in another number 10 from Oneida First Nation, the Dad's Wampum Fuels number 10, Jesse Kennedy.
Rolling off 13th on the grid, he's your current Superstock point leader here at Delaware Speedway. Driver of the 89C London Recreational Racing Route 19 Auto Parts, 2-Speed Motorsports 89C out of Drumbo. It's Sean Chenoweth.
Starting 12th from Dorchester, the APC Auto Parts Center's Canusa Automotive Warehousing Miami Muscle number 3, Shay Gemmel.
Starting 11th in the 7S out of St. Thomas, CIPG and VP, some of the sponsors on that 7, former late model track champ Pete Vanderwist Sr.
Now race fans, your top 10. Starting 10th, he set fast time earlier on tonight from Kilworth, the H&N Roofing, Glencoe Auto Recyclers, Vienna Dentistry number 19, Connor Pritico.
Starting 9th, another Delaware regular, the Crown Rust Control Hyde Park, Rico Foods number 18 out of London, it's Patrick Friel.
On the outside of row number 4, from Windsor, the JR Excavating John Arts Group number 03, Ray Morneau.
Starting 7th on the grid, driver the number 54 from Orono, North Country Property Maidens, Mobile One, B&W Enterprises Machine, your point leader, Danny Benedict.
Starting 6th from London, the Great Lakes Concrete, sponsored by Mom, APC, Captain Crisp, number 78, Joe Lawrence.
Now to your top 5. Winner last time out 2 weeks ago at Peterborough Speedway. APC Auto Parts Center, Canusa Automotive Warehouse, Pennzoil and Stewart Equipment, some of the sponsors for Milverton's Kyle Stuckley.
Starting 4th from Cambridge, defending series champion, the Cambridge Rigging Transaxle H2Go Mobile Wash number 84, J.R. Fitzpatrick.
On the inside of row 2, starting 3rd, Pride Seeds, Vibrant Farm, Cameron Craig Rigging, L82, some of the sponsors for the 52 Vermont Bridges, Jake the Snake Sheridan.
And now, race fans, your front row. Starting on the outside of row number 1 from Chesley, the Ridgeline, APC Farrier Contracting number 17, the Livewire, Josh Stotty.
And your pole sitter, the Hudco Electric Supply, Brenner Construction, MRC Wireless, Merge for Stocks, ImageWraps.ca number 97. D from Guelph, Ontario, it's your pole sitter, Tyler DiVincenzo. That is your starting lineup for tonight's Spectra Premium 100. Great field of late models.
Great looking field of drivers assembled. Josh Stotty poses for some pictures. Funny, we had to search for these drivers, some of them coming through the stands. And they'll make their way to their race cars. And Tyler DiVincenzo finally makes it down there to get his picture taken. I don't know that we've ever seen Tyler DiVincenzo start from the pole position. I'm sure the nerves will be a factor. We're going to take a quick break on G-Force TV. When we come back, it'll be time for the command to get things underway.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory pasticides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Rev up your engines and get ready for some high-octane action. G-Force TV is your one-stop destination for all the best racing action across Ontario. With free live coverage of the APC Series, Bushwick Speedway, Southern Ontario Sprints, and much more. You won't miss a single moment of the excitement. Whether you're a die-hard fan or a casual viewer, G-Force TV has everything you need to stay up to date on the latest racing news and events. Head to our website at gforcetv.net and start watching today.
When your dream car becomes a nightmare, leaving you frustrated, stranded, and broke, you say,
Goodbye, you piece of Let's take it to TKC.
What? You gotta pee?
TKC!
Let's take this piece of to TKC Metal Recycling. They pay cash for scrap cars.
TKC will recycle your piece of car. Got a piece of car? Visit TKC Metal Recycling, 20 Cushman Road, St. Catharines.
The APC Series on G-Force TV is brought to you by Pinty's, making great food fun. And by Quick, the world's best fire starter.
Welcome back to Delaware Speedway, where we are about to hear the most famous words in motorsports. Clinton Jeffrey is down in Victory Lane, where I believe he'll be choreographing those things. You can always see just from his body language when he's about to take control. I can sense it, Clinton.
Not yet. We're just getting all these drivers buckled in. We're giving them a few minutes to get ready, make sure they've got all their drinks and the cool suits ready to go. And then Sean Gibbs up at the starter stand will give us the okay. Where Chris Coulis here is going to give us the command, a long-time stalwart. And we'll be right back to you, Chris. So you hang with us. And as soon as we're ready, Adam, we'll let you know.
I didn't say you were going to do it. I just said you were going to take control of the situation. I could tell that this is the part of the show that you just own it. And quite often, how terrible is this? But if I don't say it, it'll chew me up. Jamie, I forget what nickname you spit out. And okay, well, here comes Josh Stoddy. I normally don't call out nicknames because I'm liable to call out the wrong driver's nickname to the wrong name, which I did.
Shh, that's okay. Nobody heard.
You know what? Prime time, live wire. One of the
other. You know what? We talk a lot. So if every once in a while we make a mistake.
That stuff chews at me.
It happens.
I make more. When I was 20, I didn't make any mistakes. I knew everything.
So I did okay last night. Luckily, Garrett Tamirsma didn't. Well, I mean, not luckily for him. He didn't race last night, so I only called him Derek once during the broadcast. That's just my. I don't know why I do it. It just comes out that way from years of talking about his uncle.
No, for sure. We get these, and they're stuck in your head, and you will make that mistake forever and ever. I do the same thing with Rick and Steve Verburn, and I don't know why. Like, I just know there happens to be one of each of them, and that's what's lodged in my mind.
You're 50-50, right?
Looking at the scoring monitor from an earlier race. So much electronics around us. We have so much access to everything. And you and I both thought the same thing. We both reached for the pen for the telestrator. Hold us on that shot.
So obviously we've got down here all the ignitions. There you've got the control panel for the car with all the switches to fire it up. Obviously lots of safety elements to keep that driver safe. Make sure he doesn't get banged around in there. Looks like they even got their own GoPro in the car as well.
A lot of people do that to go back and have a look over things after the race so they can see how things are handling. I think the most important feature in these cars tonight, and I don't see where this one is, it's usually down between the driver's legs or beside their legs, their water bottle.
For sure. As you see...
there we go. See, look at. I don't even know whose car we're in, but they were good enough to hold that up for us. That's awesome.
I think that's Pat Friel's car,
Yeah,
if
it
I'm not
is.
mistaken.
Pat
Yeah.
Friel.
Awesome. There's the steering wheel, and there's Pat.
And what you've got is, wow. You can't see Pat because there's just a bunch of squiggly lines that Jamie has drawn. But hey, we've got the toy. We might as well put it to use.
Oh, Adam, we're dangerous now.
No doubt. Pete Shepard running across the racetrack.
Especially with our limited artistic ability, too. Like stickmen, that's about it.
That is the extent of my skills. Absolutely. So if you're Tyler DiVincenzo, how nervous are you right now behind the wheel of the 97D? And we did say this is more fashion or function than fashion, but this... I was dripping earlier today. What this camera doesn't show is that we are entirely cased in glass. So we're basically in a terrarium.
Essentially, yeah.
With the bright sun beating in all day long, and it's about 172 degrees.
They fire up the air conditioner, and it usually gets cold up here by about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. It's really kicked in. There you see Ray Morneau in the cockpit of his machine. He's got the finger on the ignition button already.
And again, thoughts with his grandfather. Randy's dad is in the hospital, so positive thoughts.
And a new car coming to that stable. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook. Looks like they're building the super stock.
Speedy Jack lookalike, and I just saw Clinton Jeffrey with a thumb up. So once again, we're going to send it down trackside to Clinton Jeffrey for the most famous words in motorsport.
Everybody, Delaware, how about a big hand for Chris, working hard for us here every Friday night. Chris has got the honor tonight. Say hi to Mom and Dad at home, Chris. You got it.
Hey, Mom and Dad. Happy Canada Day, everybody. Drivers, start your engines.
Right on, Chris. And we are ready to go, guys.
Chris just got right to it, didn't he?
Yeah, he wasn't pausing at all.
He's not waiting any time. Hi, I'm on TV. Let's go racing.
This is why Chris is awesome, because first and foremost, he's a race fan. Like, let's get to it. It's time to go. So he just helped everybody in the place because it is time to go racing.
Chris does so much here at the Speedway. He's our gate guy, so he controls access across the track when there is breaks in the program. He's the one that runs up and down the fence and tells the kids to get back up on the hill. He takes photos and posts them on Facebook. He cleans up onto the grandstands after the show.
Wow.
He does it all.
And
years ago, we had a tire come over the fence. Chris took the tire off the shoulder. Okay? What that is for Chris as job security right there. Okay? He's got a job for life now.
Now, be honest, Jamie, how many times have you wound up under the grandstands after a night of racing?
Wow, not it's tough to get under him here, and, I don't know if I'd fit.
Not for cleanup purposes, but from the enjoyment had during the races.
It's tough. You can't get under the beer tent, or the Oval Office, if you will.
Looks like all the cars up and down the front straightaway have fired. The Queenston Chevrolet pace car going to pull away. And here they go in formation. Be ready, race fans. The third time by is going to be the wave lap. So the third time by, we want you up on your feet. Get ready. Grab your program. Grab your hat. Grab whatever you can wave over your head.
If you haven't picked up a program, they are free at the souvenir booth. Not too often you can go someplace at them and get stuff for free, but for years at Delaware Speedway and on the APC Tour, we've been printing these programs up. We want to make sure that the race fans have all they need to enjoy the action and follow along. We'll run through the point standings for you. Danny Benedict comes in 4 points up on Joe Lawrence. Kyle Steckley is third. The defending champ, J.R. Fitzpatrick, fourth. And Jake Sheridan in fifth. Then you've got Tom Gibbons, Josh Stoddy, Sean Chenoweth, Eric Delariva, and Rick Spencer-Walt not here tonight, but he rounds out the top 10 in points heading into tonight's event.
Yeah, Rick Spencer-Walt, after the last event, realized, hey, they're having their struggles. They're just not where they want to be, so they're going to back down their schedule and focus on local racing. A big loss to the series because Rick Spencer-Walt is just a lot of fun to have around. The ones to watch. The 03 of Ray Morneau, driver out of Windsor, Ontario, defending track champion, our Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet ones to watch. And our second of the ones to watch. Second of our ones to watch is going to be Connor Pritico, the driver of that 19, our fast qualifier.
Won a 35 lapper here this year, has won a 70 lapper as well. So getting some exposure for some of the local guys who don't run on tour all the time. There you see Connor Pritico. Again, his cousin, Matt Pritico, former series champ. I believe this is Connor's third year in late model at Delaware Speedway. He was a championship contender last year, and this time by, ladies and gentlemen, in the grandstands, stand up, wave something white, wave something bright, seat cushion, program, hat, neighbor if they're light enough. Give these drivers a wave as they circulate behind the Queenston Chevrolet pace car and give you a big wave on the way by before we set them off for 100 laps of action. And if you wave, don't worry, they will wave back.
You know, J.R. Fitzpatrick mentioned it before the race. They have been racing with a ton of respect. This is the type of day, Jamie, and they don't want the respect to disappear, and the drivers will still have respect, but it's hot. It's muggy inside those race cars. And if you poke a bear when they're already a little bit irritable, they might poke back.
Here's the scoop. You've got extremely clean races, and every once in a while you get a rough race. The deal is, so far this year, all we've had is really clean races. You know, we're due for a rough one. Is it going to happen today? Only time will tell. Problems you see on that 97 of Blair Wickett. Clint's down there now.
Yeah, the car's not running right now, guys. Looks like he must need a push to get this car going. Not hearing any life under the 97 as Blair fiddles with the switches and tries to push some buttons to make something come to life. And the safety crew on the way here to push him off.
What a tough break for Blair. We could document his run at Sunset was something else. He was fast qualifier, ended up getting a flat tire, was 5 laps down, raced by 4th and 3rd place, and 5 laps down.
That car is not firing.
No, he's got bigger problems than just getting it going, I think.
Guys, before we get too farther in, I just got a quick announcement here. I want to welcome Director of Marketing for APC, Corinne Mallow, and Jeff Lee, Director of Sales for Spectre Premium Canada. So special guests and Grand Marshals we've got here tonight. Both looks like they have foregone their duties, guys, but we want to welcome them here.
They're up in the APC Libation Lounge in Turn 1 looking after some other duties. Schmoozing, I think.
So Blair Wickett going to be brought down pit road. Hopefully it's something fairly quick and simple. As the crew being waved over pit wall. As one of the Shaw Motorsports teams, they do have a number of people who are pretty knowledgeable. They'll pull the hood open on that thing. Jake Shaw's going to jump right into the cockpit of that 97 machine.
It almost looked like it fired, guys, right as he got down here on pit road, but still no life under the 97. Dale and Jason Shaw diving in here, trying to figure out what could be wrong with the electronics.
So Chris Wickett, Blair's dad, Dale Shaw and Jake Shaw, they'll all be on the scene.
And we were talking about that run at Sunset that he had, or I just was, where he did set the Epic Raceware Fast Time Award. Ended up having to pit for an emergency stop under green. They put another tire on. He ended up 5 laps down. He went out and he was racing with the 3rd, 4th place cars, passed a couple guys. And then on Facebook later that week, Blair Wickett came out and he said, you know what, I want to apologize to the guys I raced so hard with, but I mean, on the flip side, he raced them all clean and he passed them all clean. So that car has speed. But stuff like this, tough break for Blair Wickett. A underfunded team just trying to get rolling. And
what they're chasing right now is wires.
Well, Adam, they took the air breather off, too, to see if it had fuel. I believe they confirmed it did have fuel coming to the carburetor. They went back to the electronics, still trying to fire it up here. And now they just told him to hang on a second. So we have not gone green yet, but the crew's still trying to figure out what's wrong with the 97.
Well, they better hurry up. 1 to go sign being given by Sean Gibbs atop the flag stand. They're going to be behind the 8 ball here.
Jake Shaw found something, and he's just come running back.
Well, he wanted a Phillips screwdriver so they could take the top of the distributor cap off and see what's going on. I got to wonder, could it be the rotator inside the distributor cap or something simple as that, Adam? Got to be frustrating, though.
We're about to go green in the Spectra Premium 100. Tyler DiVincenzo in the 97D. Josh Dottie in the 17 on the outside.
Green flag in the air. We are off and running. Stottie on the high side. DiVincenzo on the bottom. They'll race door handle to door handle through 1 and 2. Stottie's going to squirt out front by half a car length off the Delaware Hill.
Stottie with the advantage. He's got J.R. Fitzpatrick right behind him. He'll drive it deep into 3 and 4. That outside lane is rolling. Tyler DiVincenzo doing a nice job on the bottom, trying to keep pace with Fitzpatrick, but J.R. will take the 2nd spot to complete lap 1.
And how about Motor by Mom? New sponsor on that car, Great Lakes Concrete on the Joe Lawrence, number 78. He rolled off 6th. He's already to the outside of DiVincenzo. You're going to find Joe Lawrence in 3rd at the line. He'll clear the 97 at the stripe.
Drivers are having to make a choice. Ray Morneau, one of them. You want to get to the inside. That's where the groove is. But everyone seems to be going around DiVincenzo right now. He's got some speed in that 97D, but he is losing about a spot every lap. So Morneau going to stay up on the high side. That allows Kyle Steckley to close in on the bottom, but he'll get pinned behind the 97D. Of DiVincenzo.
Now you see Sheridan, he'll get outside the 97D. Tyler got a little loose there off turn 2, and they are stacked up, an absolute hornet's nest. Behind that 97D, you've got Morneau, Steckley, Pritico, Benedict, Gemmel, Friel, a whole bunch of top shoes in that group.
At the front is Stottie with about a car length over J.R. Fitzpatrick, but we focus on the battle just outside of the top 5. Tyler DiVincenzo holds on to that 5th spot. Then it's Kyle Steckley with Ray Morneau back in 7th. They get sorted out single file now. The top side-by-side battle is the battle for 8th.
And you see Steckley, Morneau, and Pritico now running 1, 2, 3 on the track, or 6th, 7th, 8th, I guess. And those were the 3 title combatants last year here at the Speedway for the championship. And those 3 were fighting with each other every single night. They're together on the track here again.
Steckley to the outside of DiVincenzo down the back straightaway. Kyle Steckley trying to break into the top 5. They've got a little bit of gap between themselves and Ray Morneau, who's got Connor Pritico to his outside.
DiVincenzo gets wicked loose off of turn 4. That'll allow Steckley to complete the deal up into P5, the 22 out of Milverton. Kyle Steckley down the backstretch trying to chase down Jake the Snake Sheridan.
Barry Watson in the 45 down pit road. It looks like he might have a flat left front tire. Well, the jack in the right side, maybe it's the right front with a problem, but I'm not sure that it's a flat tire.
They're jacking up the right side, but nothing going on down there. Well, now they're looking at the right front. Looks like they're going to make the change. Meanwhile, off of turn 4, Joe Lawrence, Jake Sheridan, and Kyle Steckley doing battle great 3-car tango down into 1 and 2. This is all going on about 2 seconds behind your leaders.
Patrick Friel just made a great home track move. He saw the 54 Danny Benedict get a little bound up battling with Connor Pritico, and he crossed him over to get to the inside coming off of turn 4. Now Shea Gemmel taking advantage of the 18 of Patrick Friel. Everything seems to have sorted out single file, but that was a fun lap and a half to watch. The battle for third heats up as Jake Sheridan looks to the inside of Joe Lawrence.
It's the Great Lake Concrete entry on the high side. The Pride Seeds machine, the 52 on the bottom. Sheridan can't get alongside the 78 this time by tucking the tire tracks of Joe Lawrence through 1 and 2. Off turn 2, they fly down the Delaware Hill. Lawrence holds him off for the time being.
Close quarters racing, third, fourth, fifth. Sheridan right up under the rear deck lid of the 78. Kyle Steckley ready to pounce on the back bumper of Jake Sheridan. Tyler DiVincenzo has really settled into a nice pace in that 97D. He got overtaken, but he didn't panic. He held his line, and now he settled himself into the 6th spot. He's running some laps in his own little space there between Kyle Steckley in front of him and Ray Morneau Jr. behind him.
Yeah, definitely 2 separate paces here. The pace out front by Stoddy and Fitzpatrick, and then from third on back, they are all stacked up in single file. Hey, and Tyler DiVincenzo, he lost a bunch of spots on the get-go, but he's settled in right now in 6th spot. It's looking good.
Out in front, Josh Stoddy with 2 car lengths over J.R. Fitzpatrick. They're more than half a straightaway ahead of Joe Lawrence holding down the 3rd spot. Couple of surprises to me out there. Sean Chenoweth in the 89C, well outside the top 10. That car just doesn't look to have taken off real well. Behind him, he's got Junior Farley in that burn workwear, number 72. Glenn Stiers in the 0. Corey Luciano in the 94. And then Darrell Lake in the 77.
And I'm surprised. I thought we'd see a little more out of Darrell Lake in the 77. Last couple Friday nights out, he's been pretty good in that London Drive Systems machine. Obviously, a different competition here in an APC race, but Darrell getting some laps under his belt, working with Corey Luciano and the 0 of Glenn Stiers near the back, and now action heating up for third. This time it's going to be using the nose for Sheridan. He got the 78 rooted up off the bottom, and he's going to bring the 22 with him.
Sheridan picks up that 3rd spot. Kyle Steckley going to move into 4th. Joe Lawrence checks up. He'll drop into the 5th spot down in front of Tyler DiVincenzo. Behind them, Ray Morneau is losing some spots. Connor Pritico got around. Now Danny Benedict trying to get the best of the 0-3 as they race into turn 1.
Not sure what happened there. He was just behind the 0-3 was just on the tail of Pritico just a lap ago. And out front still Josh Stoddy. About 3.5 seconds back now from your leader to 3rd place Jake Sheridan. These top 2 cars are pretty much in a league all their own.
Well, they are, but you've got to conserve all these drivers, all the local drivers especially, said you've got to save some race cars. Jesse Kennedy looks to the inside of Shea Gemmel down in turn 3. So are Josh Stoddy and J.R. Fitzpatrick using too much race car right now?
Well, one of the things that went on today, the APC officials recommended that all the field scuff in tires just because of a lot of right rear problems we've seen here, especially in that 70 lapper at Delaware a few weeks ago. So this place becoming very abrasive on tires as the asphalt cures from being installed last year. So all the teams were recommended to scuff. I'm pretty sure they all did. So they all got a couple laps on their tire, put them through a heat cycle to get them ready for 100 laps tonight. But you definitely are going to have to conserve that rubber and keep that right rear under you for 100 laps.
Deeper in the field, Corey Luciano just lost the spot to Darrell Lake in the 77. A great look from our speed shot.
There's Sheridan and Steckley wheeling down into 3 and 4. They have separated themselves from Joe Lawrence. Still just about 3.5 seconds behind that lead battle.
J.R. Fitzpatrick starting to poke a nose to the inside. Last lap on the exit of turn 4, Josh Stoddy came up off the corner to the wall. J.R. Fitzpatrick just a little bit lower on the racetrack. We've got a great look from the drone of Josh Stoddy running a conventional line. He's running the line you would expect him to run, but J.R. Fitzpatrick poking a nose out. Is the car running hot, or is J.R. trying to distract the lead? Oh, one into the wall hard in turn number 1.
Pete Vanderwist and a little bit of flame shot up when he hit the wall.
And that's generally a load up in the exhaust, fuel loading up in the engine and then burning off.
Well, especially with the exhaust on the right side of the car and being right up against the wall.
I did not see the initial hit, but I saw the landing.
And our drone down there getting good footage. He is on the spot.
23 laps into the Spectra Premium 100. Safety crews are on the scene, and the drone vacates the premises.
And it's funny, our drone operator right to the right of our broadcast booth, like, he's not even looking down where the drone is. That's the part that freaks me out the most.
No, it's a VR, and you see Pete Vanderwees just caught the front stretch wall right around before the start-finish line. Something must have broken that race car, because when he went down into turn 1, it did not turn.
I caught up with Dale Shaw as I was walking down, and he said, "Did you see that?" He goes, "I'm sure that'd be a lower control arm going on the 7. He also told me that Blair Wickett had an ignition box failure that they can't get repaired, guys, so that's why the 97 is out. We're headed down to the 7's pit to see if we can check it out.
I'm not sure what happened there. Whether something broke or he just touched the wall.
No, it broke after he... I think you'll find if we get a chance to talk to Pete that it was a driver error. You know, it's a car he hasn't driven much of. They just brought it out, and he swung to the outside. Spencer, show that again and give us a little bit more roll on that. I want to see the attitude of that 7 car as a dejected Pete Vanderwees walks back through the infield.
Going to check on Pete Vanderwees, make sure he's okay.
So with a little bit more, look for Pete. Don't telestrate it. He swings to the outside. Yeah, I think he steered the car up there. It didn't look like the car darted towards the wall. It looked like he was just trying to get a little bit better angle on the car in front of him. Clipped the wall, and whatever broke, whether it was a flat right front tire or broken suspension, you get down to turn 1 carrying that much speed. There's just no time to slow down when the car won't turn.
So the Queenston Chevels pace car leading the way right now. And this erases a 3.5 second lead that Josh Dottie had built up. Josh Dottie and Fitzpatrick had built up on 3rd place. And we saw Eric Della Riva down in there for a pit stop.
Sean Chenoweth on pit road, Tom Gibbons on pit road, Clinton Jeffrey, what's going on down there?
And lots of action down here at the Luciano crew reaching under. They're pulling out 2 spring rubbers out of the right rear of the 94. I think we're seeing a lot of quick adjustments like that being done. You can look at the Chenoweth car up there. They're changing the air pressures on the left rear of that car. And we're going to see if we can find Pete Vanderwees to find out what happened to the 7.
They had a stagger stick on the right rear of Chenoweth, so they're trying to adjust the stagger there.
One thing I noticed, Tom Gibbons off the pace from the get-go. He was losing a lot of ground. They hadn't got into lap traffic, but they were going too soon. It was Tom Gibbons and then a big gap to the next guy. So they are fighting that 10 car right now.
And he was fast in practice. He was a top 10-ish car in practice earlier today.
He'll tell you this isn't his favorite track, but he's not terrible here either. I mean, he can get it done. He can definitely, run in that 10th area. And Clint's down there.
Well, they've got the toe plates out, guys, so obviously something wrong with the front suspension here. They're trying to get it set up. They've got 2 measuring tapes on the toe plates and working on that lower right front here with the hood up. So we'll see what the issue is, trying to get the toe in back in the right spot. Yeah, it's an adjustment.
Clint, give us a look at the left front tire, the outside of the left front tire. Because there doesn't look to be any marks. Normally, if the toe is knocked out, you'll see where either the left front or the right front has hit something, another car or the wall.
No, it looks good down here, guys. I don't see any scuff marks on anything. If we do see one thing, it might be just a little bit of a scuff on the rim. And when they get out of the way, I might be able to point that out to you. We don't want to get in their way right now. The Chenoweth crew is still working on the 89C here on pit road as well.
And we've got some reports that Gibbons made some contact with some other cars out there, so that might have led to this issue as they're adjusting the toe. Caution laps do not count, so we're still 23 laps complete in this one as Sean Chenoweth rolls off a pit road.
That's one of the things here at Delaware, those Jersey barriers, they'll catch a car and flip it right up.
Okay, guys, look quickly here on the rim. All kinds of
down.
damage on the rim. It's been bent up. There has been contact there on the left front.
Good eye, Clint.
Sounds like some contact possibly with the 45 of Barry Watson.
And that would explain Watson's early exit from that one as well.
And now choose cone in effect. We actually have, the cone is down there now. So it's not get to the start-finish line and make the choice. You got to make the choice before you get to the cone. So we see.
Yeah, but what the cone needs to be in the center of
and the cone just got taken out. 52 is getting a black flag for smoking the cone.
Tail end of the longest line penalty to Jake
now
Sheridan.
The question is, if the cone is knocked down the track, do you go by the dot where the cone was or where the cone is 50 feet down the track?
Official going to get the pieces of the cone there.
What's left of it? It's going to be an expensive day on cones.
Wow, that will be a frustrating. So we'll have a look at this replay. No, we won't. Sorry, we missed. Show that again if you would, Spencer. It's pandemonium up here at the moment. So, Stoddy, JR, and yeah, easy as can be. Sheridan just clipped that with his right front, and what a penalty that is. Now, the issue with that is, what does everybody else do behind them because the cone is gone? Do you have to, is it a moving target?
Well, technically, Joe Lawrence hit a part of the cone after it got separated.
I wouldn't worry about that, but just the matter of who's committing to the inside, who's committing to the outside when the cone disappears.
Well, we saw penalties over this last week at Peterborough, where guys, or 2 weeks ago at Peterborough, where guys made the decision at the start-finish line, and then got down to turn one and saw that outside groove open. So now one person was penalized for that.
No, they weren't. There was a mistake, and the officials admitted it afterwards. So Trayton Lapsevich tried to go to the outside in turn one. They only put him back where he belonged. He should have gone to the back of the longest line, just like they've done with Sheridan. Clinton Jeffrey is with Pete Vanderwist.
Pete, not the early.
Down, just coming out of four, the right front blew and just took me into the wall and went down there, had no brakes, and wasn't a hard lick, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's not looking very good for us. So we're done, and it's just unfortunate for CIPG, Yarmouth Metal, all the guys that support HD Concrete. We got SRS Detailing and Polishing. We got SRS Stumps RS guys. We got Discount Drain. Everybody that's involved with this program works pretty hard with both with the Superstock program and with the Pro Lay model. So this will pretty much end my program for the Pro Lay model deal. So anyway, it was fun. We were just riding around. The car was coming to me. We just had to get the air pressure built up in the tires, and it was coming along good. Just coming out of four, the right front blew out. And anyway, it is what it is. Shit happens.
Thanks for your time, Pete. There it is from Inside, guys, as we get ready to roll.
One to go. This is a story. So J.R. Fitzpatrick went to the outside of the cone. He clearly chose outside. Went to the inside lane after the fact. We just talked about it. Trayton Lapsevich should have been put to the back at Peterborough. He wasn't. That is the appropriate penalty for a driver choosing one way and then trying to change their mind.
Who would have thought the cone was going to create this much controversy here early on in the Spectre Premium 100?
Quick, fire it up. Three wide racing deep in the pack. Jake Sheridan trying to make up some positions. Not getting anywhere just yet, but things are really bottlenecked ahead of him. Glenn Steyer's up in the top 10. He got loose off of turn number 4, and we've got a battle for the lead.
Kyle Steckley on the bottom of 17 with Josh Stoddy on the top side. Gives Steckley P1 at the line. Now, Steckley closes the deal off turn 2.
3 wide again in turn number 2. Junior Farley on the inside. Shea Gemmel in the middle. Darrell Lake just got the short end of that stick. It's getting pretty physical at the back of the field. At the front, though, Ray Morneau working the outside for P5 on Tyler DiVincenzo.
DiVincenzo having the run of his career right now in that 97D. There you see Morneau on the high side, and then Benedict in the 10K of Jesse Kennedy. Don't sleep on that 10 machine. The wily veteran now taking a peek to the inside of Benedict. Can't get it done. He'll tuck back in line. Now we go back up to that battle between the 03 of Morneau and the 97 of DiVincenzo. This is for 5th.
DiVincenzo holding his line down on the bottom, doing a good job. Ray Morneau with a lot more laps here at Delaware. He's comfortable up on the outside. He talked to us on Tuesday night to say, man, the outside groove is great out there with the new pavement. He'll continue to work that groove. Right behind him, they're side by side with Kennedy in the 10 on the inside of the 54 of Danny Benedict.
Great battle. Your point leader on the high side, and again, a former APC 100 winner here at Delaware Speedway. Has won 5 or 6 Canada Day races over the years before the APC series got cranked up. So no stranger to winning here on Canada Day. And he's closed the deal on Benedict. Kennedy keeps charging his way to the front.
Whoa, Jake Sheridan just spiked the brakes to get behind the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. They had been side by side behind the 94 of Luciano. And a little bit of smoke, I think, out of someone. Might have been the 19 of Connor Pritico. Might have just been tire smoke, but we'll keep our eyes on that part of the pack.
DiVincenzo again, still side by side with the 03. Morneau swings it up to the outside. DiVincenzo only half a car length back on the bottom. Morneau's going to pinch him down into 1. It gets physical through 1 and 2. Kennedy on the doorstep.
Still smoke coming off the Connor Pritico 19, and I can't figure out what it is. It's at one specific point when he gets into the corner. He'll set the car down into turn number 1, and just as he gets to the concrete, you'll see a puff of smoke. But just one.
That is odd. Connor Pritico, again, 2 feature wins so far here at Delaware Speedway in regular Friday night action this year, making a start. And now you saw that smoke. It's going up in turn 3 as well.
Just one puff, though. That's the most bizarre thing. Normally, if there's stress on the right side of the car, when it leans down into the corner, it'll smoke all the way through the corner, not just one puff and done.
Interesting. I don't see a lot of damage to the right rear of that car. And you see, again, right when he gets down to almost the middle of the corner, just that one puff of smoke. It probably won't fix itself, though. That's the problem.
No, it generally doesn't. J.R. Fitzpatrick to the inside of Junior Farley. They battle off of turn 4, wheel to wheel. Jake Sheridan right behind the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. A lot of laps still to go. We're still 64 laps remaining in the Spectra Premium 100, but you got to start moving.
Tyler DiVincenzo has now been cleared by Ray Morneau. Got Jesse Kennedy beating down the back door, tucked right up under that spoiler. As you see Sheridan now getting by Junior Farley as well as he tries to chase down J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Glenn Steyer's towards the tail end of that lead pack. He is not as fast as Shea Gemmel, who runs right behind him, but Gemmel has his hands full trying to find a way around that 0 car. Connor Pritico.
Yeah, something's missed now. He is falling off the pace. They're streaming by him on the bottom like he's tied to a post. And you can see more and more smoke now billowing out of that 19. Again, that problem is not fixing itself, Adam.
No, it's sure not, and you're betting now there's more and more smoke coming out of that 19 machine. And he backs down to the inside of the racetrack, and he's going to bring that to pit road.
Tough break for Connor Pritico, qualified inside the top 10 here tonight. He's really looking forward to a good run. Has been running in the top 5 pretty much since the get-go, and it looks like his chance at victory is going to be done.
Shea Gemmel finally got a nose to the inside of Glenn Steyer's in the 0. He'll pick up that position. little further behind there, Jake Sheridan got to the inside of J.R. Fitzpatrick. So Sheridan picks up a spot in that 52 as they continue to march their way through the field slowly but surely.
This guy's got a lot of work to do. Meanwhile, out front, Josh Stoddy leads Joe Lawrence by a few car lengths. Problems on Junior Farley's number 72 as he slows down the backstretch there. You see Tyler DiVincenzo, and he's still got Jesse Kennedy beating down the back door.
So the top three out there, Kyle Steckley. Steckley's ahead by half a straightaway. Josh Stoddy comfortably running in second with Joe Lawrence third in that 78. They're all in their own space. Ray Morneau has moved up to fourth in the 03. Tyler DiVincenzo fifth in the 97, and everybody's settled in, just running their laps as we approach the halfway point of the Spectra Premium 100.
Fastest time of the night so far, J.R. Fitzpatrick. Kyle Steckley's turned the second quickest lap, Stoddy the third quickest, then Gamble and Sheridan. And both the 52 and the 84, they are trucking their way forward at him, but the laps are clicking down, and they still got a lot of good cars to pass here.
Sheridan has moved his way up to the 10th position. Everybody he's going to try to pass from now till the end of this race is going to be faster and faster and faster, making things more challenging. Glenn Stiers in the 0 has lost a few spots in the last couple of laps. Sheridan, Fitzpatrick, Della Riva, and now Chenoweth have gone around the 0 machine.
A few spots in front of Sheridan. Let's put a call out to Pat Friel in the 18. London driver, regular here at Delaware Speedway, has run the entire APC Tour in the past. Having a great run here this evening, sitting 7th, I believe, right now in that 18. He's quietly just stayed in the top 10 and stayed a factor here through the first almost half of this one.
Joe Lawrence and Jake Sheridan just turned their fastest laps of the race. Sheridan, in fact, faster than anybody on the racetrack that lap. So there's definitely speed in that 52 machine, but he's got a long way to go. Danny Benedict on the inside of Patrick Friel as they do battle for the 7th spot. Right behind them is Shea Gemmel, and not far back ride Jake Sheridan and J.R. Fitzpatrick. So this could be a long ride for Patrick Friel up on the high side. Maybe not.
And we got a report from the pits with Clint Jeffries.
Thanks, guys. I got Connor Pritico here. Connor, what took you out of the race?
I'm not too sure, something internally, but we were on the move there. But yeah, we'll be back at the end of the fall for the fall brawl and see what we can do then.
Thanks for your time, Connor. Something gone awry in the 19, guys. Peace out of this one.
Frustrating for that driver. He had a lot of speed. Talking about speed, Jake Sheridan still laying down some good laps as he gets the inside of Friel. J.R. Fitzpatrick right behind him. Patrick Friel holds down the 9th spot. Jake Sheridan in 10th, but not anymore.
Sheridan and J.R. Fitzpatrick pitting him up and putting him down.
Wow, one car just went way up the track in turn 4, and that was Tyler DiVincenzo. Not sure if he had help there or not.
We got a big problem with the 74, Eric Della Riva. Something is either flat or broken suspension-wise in that car.
There's a lot of...
There he goes, spinning off a turn. Oh! Spinning off a turn 2, Eric Della Riva nose first hard into the inside wall. Watch that coming for about a lap.
That was a significant impact with the inside wall.
And he hit that nose first.
Wow.
Like I say, he had a tire going down or something had broken the suspension. And I think he was just trying to get it back to the pits, and off turn 2, it just snapped around on him. Hooked to the left and head first into the fence.
Scrubbed off a little bit of speed just from the sliding down the track, but he was still going pretty quick when he hit the concrete on the inside. But there was a lot of things happening right at that lap. So I think we're going to see some shuffling in the positions here as they try to get things, as they go back to the last completed lap on scoring to set the lineup. Clinton Jeffrey, where are you right now?
I just want to make a quick report here on Junior Farley. They've got problems here on this Shaw Motorsports car as well. You can see the trailing arm is broken and the wheel has shifted forward. So that's the problem here for Junior Farley in the 72 car. the Shaw Motorsports crew walking down there to see what they can find out about Eric Delariva, guys.
Yeah, that was a bad few laps for Shaw Motorsports as Corey Luciano down pit road. He brings it to the attention of his crew.
They can go have a look at it, but I just think they're going to find that they've got a lot of work to do before Flamborough. And tough day for the Shaw Motorsports crew. You see two of the cars on pit road. Blair Wickett didn't even get to take the green here tonight now. Junior Farley pulling off, and Eric Delariva again hard into the wall off turn 2.
Right in front of the Grisdale truck, the American Racer tire supplier. You can see a number of them up on the roof of that trailer as Eric Delariva walks away from the scene of the wreckage. We'll take a quick break on G-Force TV and we'll be right back to Delaware Speedway.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV. The APC series on G-Force TV is brought to you by Tiffany Gate. Indulge in a world of fresh meals, sides, salads, and more.
Welcome back to Delaware Speedway, where we're 52 laps into the Spectra Premium 100, 48 laps to go. Kyle Steckley is the race leader in the 22, running second is Josh Dottie in the 17. 78 of Joe Lawrence is third, the 03 of Ray Morneau is fourth, the 10K of Jesse Kennedy is fifth. 54 of Danny Benedict is sixth, the 97D of Tyler DiVincenzo is seventh, the 3 of Shea Gemmel is eighth. 52 of Jake Sheridan is ninth, and rounding out the top 10 is the 18 of Patrick Friel. 11th is J.R. Fitzpatrick in the 84, then Sean Chenoweth in the 89C, Glenn Stiers in the 0, Corey Luciano in the 94, and the 77 of Darrell Lake. Behind them will be Tom Gibbons in the 10, and those are all of the cars on the lead lap.
As we're back in the picture, getting a look at the Delariva 74. All kinds of major front-end damage, the frame pushback, and a lot of problems here for this car. Going to be a long few weeks in the garage for the Shaw Motorsports crew.
All right, the cone has been placed right under the flag stand.
Now, did they fix the first cone, or is that a new one? Is that the cone's brother?
Stoddy inside, Lawrence outside, Morneau outside, Kennedy
and Benedict's
outside.
going to pick up a bunch of spots right here. Danny Benedict goes from 6th to 3rd for this restart. And the cone lives this time.
So we can hear the scorers calling out the inside row, calling out the outside row. It looks like they're satisfied with how all that took place. Josh Dottie in the 17 will restart on the inside of the front row. The 22 of Kyle Steckley on the outside.
And I did get a message from Captain Chris Lawrence, owner of that 78 car. Of course, they brought Great Lakes Concrete on. He also said put a big shout out to Paragon Installations for joining on the sponsorship as well. They just forgot to update the roster. So congratulations on some new sponsorship for that 78. And he's doing him proud, sitting fourth on this restart. It's Stoddy and Steckley on the front row. Steckley will be the control car, and the youngster from Milverton hits the loud pedal, and out he goes.
Great launch for Steckley in the 22. Stoddy settles into second single file. They're side by side for third with Danny Benedict down low in the 54 and Joe Lawrence up high in the 78.
Benedict gets the gift from the choose cone. Everybody went high, and he just went down to the bottom, went from 6th to 3rd on the restart. Still fighting for 3rd with Joe Lawrence in the middle, 1 and 2.
Whoa, trouble in turn number 1. Patrick Friel, Shea Gemmel involved. Jake Sheridan narrowly missing. I was watching J.R. Fitzpatrick trying to dig into that hole. I don't think that he caused it, but I just happened to be watching back there. There were a lot of drivers looking for racing room as Shea Gemmel lights up those rear tires. So we should have a look if that's a static camera.
Something's wrong with that 3 car too. A shower of sparks coming from out the back of that Canusa machine. Yeah, it sounds like we had a replay of it. Oh, sorry, no replay of it.
So Shea Gemmel heading down pit road, as Jamie mentioned. Sparks coming out that number 3. Jack stands have come out, so they understand this is going to be a bit of a repair as they get the jack underneath. So,
and you see that Canusa crew going to work. They just checked under the right rear, and whoever it was checked under the right rear just got up and shook his head.
Now they'll go to work under the left side of that race car, jack it up in the air.
Clint down there on the scene already.
Yeah, guys, trying to figure out what's going on. They've got the hood up, trying to figure out what the problem could be here. And don't see a lot of damage to the car as I walk around it, guys. Don't see any major problems. But there is something going on the left side. They've got some hoses coming off and some brake ducts they're working on the left front. But other than that, things look to be all right.
We can see where the braces are broken on the inside of the fender. They're just trying to pull those body braces out there. So you can see them working right in this area on those braces, and those braces hanging down there.
A major right rear adjustment just went into the car as well. And yeah, it looks like they're just working on the left front here, trying to work on those ducts and try and get everything up so it won't be dragging when he goes back out.
Zip ties work wonders. The choose rule will go down this time by on the front straightaway.
I still want to know if that's the second cone we're on.
It's quite possible. I'll tell you, though, the drivers that are going to the inside are driving through all sorts of debris down there. Watch some of the dust that comes off these cars on the bottom. Especially if they decide late and sort of swerve down there. You see it once they get past towards turn 1, and they're starting to clear that area off, but they'll have to scrub those tires pretty hard.
So the good news is, looks like they got the problems fixed on the 3. And it could have been just brake ducts dragging. I mean, that would be enough to spark, but it looked like it was coming out of the rear. That was the odd part, not the left front. So we'll see if they've got it fixed when we go back. I mean, the true test will be when we go back green, and that car is under stress in the corner.
Tom Gibbons, for those of you scoring at home, hit the cone. The last car to come by. Look at that poor cone.
The good news is the penalty can't get that bad when you're already at the back.
Right, tail end of the longest line. That's where it was already.
Does that mean if you're having a bad day, you just take out your frustrations? If you're already tailed, just bam, take that cone.
Well, what can they do to you? You know, put you to the back, you're already there.
You do think like a racer.
White flag getting set to come out this time by early 1-to-go signal. Everybody lined up behind the Queenston Chevrolet Camaro. And a good job by Steckley on that outside.
Steckley paced himself to that restart very, very well. He doesn't drive like a teenager. Drives with a lot
he's
of
wise
poise.
beyond his years. He doesn't really put himself in a lot of bad situations. And I said that last year. You had those 3 guys, youngsters, fighting for the championship here. The 22 of Steckley, the 03 of Ray Morneau, and the 19 of Connor Pritigo. And they're all going to be superstars throughout Ontario. Don't worry, as the years go on. They are all very talented young drivers.
They've got a long career as long as they want to be out there playing. We'll go 1 to go this time at the line, and this goes without saying, though, Jamie. Thank you so much to the race fans who have come out here this afternoon, this evening, for a great show. The weather forecast didn't look fantastic, and we've completed halfway of this event. This race is official, but it looks like the weather's going to hold off until well after this one's over.
We're getting the 1 to go right now. Sorry, we got a housekeeping note. Carl Ireland. Carl Ireland. If your name is Carl Ireland, please go to the merchandise stand. We have your credit card.
Ooh. If you know
Wait a minute,
Carl,
what's the limit?
Pace car going to peel off, leave the field in the hands of Kyle Steckley in the 22. He'll restart from the outside of the front row. Stoddy getting out ahead, had to lift a little bit. That allows Steckley to come with a head of steam.
Good job by Steckley again, controlling this restart. Not as good as the last one. Stoddy's still there, but he'll clear Stoddy off turn 2. Now Stoddy's got a bigger problem. This 78 Joe Lawrence, your 2020 champ, to the outside of Primetime. Now Primetime's getting beat up on. Here comes to the inside. It's Danny Benedict now. Josh Stoddy finally gets his way in line.
Stoddy's car wouldn't stay on the inside. He was fortunate there was nobody up there because his car just shot up the racetrack. On corner entry, you get down to the bottom, but on corner exit, he's sliding up the track. It looks like things are a little better now with the lap under his belt after this restart, but it was a bit of an ugly one.
Benedict going at it with the 03. That's for 4 spot. And how about this from the back of the pack after smoking the cone? Up into the top 5 comes Jake the Snake Sheridan.
Sheridan to the inside. He'll drive to the inside of Benedict as well. 2 for 1, and that turns 3 and 4.
The 52 car has passed a lot of cars here today. Already back up to 4th now. Looking for J.R. Fitzpatrick. He sits 5th, 6th, 7th in line right now. Works to the outside of Chenoweth.
DiVincenzo and Kennedy locked up there in turn number 3. Looks like Kennedy's window net came down. So Kennedy has come to rest with his wheels turned to the right. Tyler DiVincenzo backs away from the scene a little bit. I believe both of them will be able to drive away.
Well, Kennedy was making some hand gestures, if you will, to the 97 as he drove away. Maybe checking to see if the 97 was okay. I don't think that was the case, but we'll see Kennedy now down to his pit crew. They're set to hop into action. And it looks like some damage to that right front.
Yeah, that's right, Jamie. The right front is towed out quite a bit here. The window net is down for the Kennedy 10. They are working on it. They're also going to lift the hood, and that's probably the best way to get a look at this front end geometry. We'll get Jack in there at the camera. I'll take a look here on the left side. Everything appears to be all right over here. Got a bit of door damage, but nothing to worry about. Nothing he couldn't continue with. But this big problem is how this right front is towed out.
Yeah, he's got one tire pointed at the tech shack, the other one at the Oval Office right now.
The other thing I want to point out, Jamie, is look, it's pushed back here into the body as well. So they've got some major clearance issues here on the right front of the Kennedy machine.
We got a replay, but it had already started.
Yeah,
by the time we picked him up there on the speed shot.
Can't see if DiVincenzo had started to get a little sideways on his own. Definitely there was contact during the accident.
I got Jesse here. Jesse, what happened out there?
Well, first of all, I want to apologize to the 97 team. That was completely my fault. I'm losing brakes there near the end. Each caution, they would come back, but that one again was just me getting in there too hot.
I'm sure they'll appreciate your class, Jesse. Better time next time.
Well, again, that's all I can do. Apologize at this point. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
There you hear it from real gentleman racer Jesse Kennedy, guys. He took the onus on that one.
You know, and you say that, Clinton, you're absolutely right. That goes a long way to a competitor. When someone says, hey, that's on me, didn't want for that to happen. Drivers have a lot of respect for that as the choose rule going on. Tyler DiVincenzo going to pick up some spots going to the outside here. The tail end of the line, Luciano went low, Stiers went low. DiVincenzo going to head to the high side. 1 to go at the stripe.
I guess there had been some contact down in turn 1 just before that, so it was an ongoing problem for Jesse Kennedy, but not too many times racers will own up to something like that. He's a class act for sure in the 10K.
The DiVincenzo crew were still not happy. I think Jesse might have to mail a couple cards to make this one better.
Well, no point in being too upset until the race ends. You know, it's a long race. Things happen. He was up there in the top 5 for a long time, but he can get back up there again. Set to go green. Kyle Steckley will set the pace with Josh Stoddy.
Stoddy had to lift there. He got a nose out front of the 22. And now the 22 looks like he's going to clear him off turn 2. And here comes Joe Lawrence as well on the outside of Stoddy.
Shea Gemmel and Sean Chenoweth just got into a little bit there down in turns 1 and 2. That allowed J.R. Fitzpatrick to get around on the high side, so Fitzpatrick got the benefit of a good restart, but he has not made up the ground. Jake Sheridan has Sheridan up to the 3rd spot in that 52.
Sheridan 3rd, Stoddy 4th. Now side-by-side race for 5th. It's Ray Morneau on the outside, gets wicked loose off the corner, bounces off Benedict's door, gets straight, but he's in trouble. Benedict to the bottom. He's got J.R. Fitzpatrick ready to fill the hole as well. A 3-car dance for 5th down into turn 3.
Morneau got so loose there, I can't believe he's still in that battle, but carrying a lot of speed. He's going to complete the pass on Danny Benedict for 5th.
Benedict's not done. He's going to bury the nose down in there into turns 1 and 2, but Morneau able to let that thing float up off the bottom, but it's not done yet. And right behind them, J.R. Fitzpatrick trying to find his way back into the top 5. He's to the outside of Benedict. This all going on right behind 5th place, Ray Morneau.
It looks as though Fitzpatrick wanted to give Ray Morneau some help down the back straightaway, but he thought better of it that last time around. He takes that 6th spot, so Danny Benedict back to 7th, just ahead of Sean Chenoweth and Shea Gemmel.
39 laps left to go, so almost 2/3 of the way through this one. And how about Joe Lawrence? He has been there all day, sitting 2nd right now. He's got Jake Sheridan tucked up underneath the spoiler. I'm not sure that either one of them has anything for this rocket ship of a 22-0 front. But we'll see here over the closing 38 laps.
Steady runs and solid finishes have been the makeup of Joe Lawrence's season in 2023. I said off the top this was race number 3. It's my race number 3 because I didn't make it to Flamborough. It's race number 4, and Joe Lawrence has some great finishes in the first 3 rounds of the 2023 APC Series. Sheridan looking to the inside of the 78 of Lawrence down in turn 3.
Great race off turn 3 and 4 as you see Luciano and Tyler DiVincenzo. Now there's Lawrence and Sheridan. These two have battled a lot of Friday nights together. Stoddy in the mix as well. Lawrence is going to shuffle into 3rd spot.
Lawrence creatively there worked that race car to allow Sheridan to get by, but then closed the door on Josh Stoddy. That was quite a veteran move by Joe Lawrence to protect that 3rd position. Josh Stoddy right behind him, Ray Morneau behind Stoddy, and then J.R. Fitzpatrick in the 84 still trying to pedal his way back to the front of the field.
He sits 6th right now. The point leader Danny Benedict in 7th. 8th is Shea Gemmel. 9th Pat Friel. 10th is Sean Chenoweth. 11th Darrell Lake. 12th Corey Luciano. 13th is Tyler DiVincenzo. 14th Tom Gibbons. 15th Glenn Stiers. All the cars running, they're all on the lead lap.
Kyle Steckley, the class of the field through the middle portion of this race. Jake Sheridan runs in the second spot. He's not quite as quick right now as Kyle Steckley, but they are turning almost identical laps out there.
Question is, will it go green to the end, 33 down? It's a healthy 1.2 second gap right now, but Jake Sheridan just turned his fastest lap of the contest.
Yeah, I think he heard me and he wasn't too happy, so he went out there and picked it up. Shea Gemmel to the inside of Danny Benedict. The 3 machine drives it in deep in 3 and 4. He'll clear the 54 on corner exit. So move Shea Gemmel up to the 7th spot.
Again, I still don't know if the 52's got anything for the 22, but that 52, he was able to save enough coming through the field that he just ripped off his fastest lap of the night. So looks like plenty of car left for the 52. I just need a well-timed yellow to get himself up to the bumper of the 22 and make some chaos on a restart.
Couple of battles deep in the pack. Tyler DiVincenzo working the 94 of Luciano. He got to the inside in turn 3, finally clears him the next lap in turn number 2. So Tyler DiVincenzo getting pretty racy here with less than 30 laps to go.
Here's the race for 5th spot. It has heated up. It's coming to a boil. The 03 of Morneau, the 84 of Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick again getting one of those cone penalties, having to restart at the back early in this one. He's fought his way back up to 6th spot. He works Ray Morneau off turn 4. Can't get a nose underneath. He's buried the nose under the rear quarter. And now he's going to take a spin to the inside, but Morneau so strong on the top. It's going to be Fitzpatrick, though, blasted by the inside.
JR only peeled off the back bumper of Morneau as they turned down into corner number 1. It was a late move. Morneau had to respect the nose of that 84. Now that he's clear, let's see what kind of speed J.R. Fitzpatrick has in the 84. He's got a full straightaway to close in on Kyle Steckley, the race leader.
Morneau's going to have problems here in a minute with another driver who's come from the back of the pack. We saw Shea Gemmel's problems earlier. He has rebounded now up into 7th. Morneau sits 6th. That's the race down under the stripe and into turn 1.
Jake Sheridan continues to reel off fast laps. He's more than 1/10 of a second quicker than the race leader, Kyle Steckley. Steckley hasn't been challenged in quite some time. Shea Gemmel is closed in on the 0-3 of Ray Morneau as they do battle for the 6th spot down under the flag stand.
Josh Stoddy just ripped off his fastest lap of the night. And you want to talk about competition, Adam. The top cars, 1 through 7, all of their fast laps are in the 18.5s. So you've got the top 7 cars all within 1/10 of a second on speed all night long.
That's something impressive, and I'll tell you what else is impressing me is Tyler DiVincenzo, the Hudco Electric Supply number 97, just past Darrell Lake. He's just driving aggressively, assertively, not dirty, but putting the nose where he needs it and making some moves. When have we seen Tyler DiVincenzo carve through traffic in this series?
Not like this before. He's getting it done, and maybe he's got that red rage going from getting turned by Jesse Kennedy just a little bit ago. That's sometimes worth a couple 10ths of a second.
You're not wrong. And things are tightening up at the front. Joe Lawrence just turned a fast lap out there. He got into the 18.4s. And Jake Sheridan has caught race leader Kyle Steckley. We've got a battle for the lead.
22 to go, make it 21 at the stripe. Steckley, your leader. Sheridan second, then it's about 8 car lengths back to Joe Lawrence, another 5 car lengths back to Josh Stoddy, and then 10 more car lengths back to your 5th place car, J.R. Fitzpatrick. But all eyes are on this battle out front. Steckley high, now here comes Sheridan to the bottom.
Sheridan with a nose to the inside. Steckley's got to give him that lane down on the bottom. They'll race side by side off of turn number 2. Give Jake Sheridan the race lead.
He was even, now he's leaving the 52 out front. Gets by the 22. Jake the Snake Sheridan, 1 career victory on tour. It came at Sauble a few years ago. Looking to make it number 2 in front of the hometown folks tonight.
That battle allowed Joe Lawrence to close in to make it a 3-car race at the front of the field. Let's see if Sheridan can drive away from the 22 or if Kyle Steckley will be able to keep pace.
Joe Lawrence coming off a great finish at Peterborough last time out. Looking to go on the podium again. He came in tonight 4 points behind Danny Benedict. Kyle Steckley was 7 points back. This is going to be interesting the way the championship picture breaks up after tonight.
Tyler DiVincenzo picks off another spot. He just got around Patrick Friel to move himself back into the top 10 in that 97D.
And I thought we'd see more from your pole sitter or for your point leader here tonight. Danny Benedict struggling to find the speed of the top 5 there. Joe Lawrence to the inside of the 22. This is for second. Lawrence at the line with 16 to go. Will hold P2. He's going to close the deal off turn 2 on Steckley.
Jake Sheridan able to drive away. 15 car lengths the distance between first and second place. Josh Stoddy is closed in on the 22 with Steckley, and J.R. Fitzpatrick is moving in as well in that 84 machine, but out in front it is all Jake Sheridan with a 1 second lead over Joe Lawrence.
With 15 to go, if JR wants to be a factor, he's definitely going to need some help at this point. He's a long ways behind your leader, but he is catching Josh Stoddy. Might be able to make a couple more spots up before the end of this one. And did Kyle Steckley maybe just not save enough in that 22?
You know, we talk about him being a veteran beyond his years, even though he is so young. You don't think he would have been overdriving that 22. He's got a lot of experience here. He knows how he needs to run these races, but you never know. And sometimes you have that much speed early in a race, you do need to worry about what you're going to have left at the end.
And sometimes if it gets that fast early, it can change over the course of the night as those tire pressures build up. And sitting third right now, definitely Sheridan looks like he's got this one under control with 12 to go. But great battle for third. Steckley, Stoddy, and J.R. Fitzpatrick. A couple veterans working on the youngster.
Stoddy pokes the nose of that ridgeline 17 to the inside as Stackley couldn't get it done off of turn 4. He tucks back in line. J.R. Fitzpatrick taking a real wide entry into the corner to try to get a run on corner exit. Not quite close enough to make a move.
List of drivers who have won here at Delaware Speedway. Jesse Kennedy, Cole Powell, each with a single win. Trayton Lapsevich and Shea Gemmel as well. Gressel has 3, J.R. Fitzpatrick 2, and Brandon Watson most APC victories at Delaware with 5. Again, Jake Sheridan has been to victory lane at Sabo Speedway, looking to get it done here at Delaware for the first time in his second career win.
With 9 laps to go at the stripe, the distance between first and second is just under 0.6 seconds, and Joe Lawrence is a little faster than Sheridan at the moment. Here goes Josh Stoddy working for third on the inside.
Good work by Stoddy. He'll dig on the bottom. He's got Steckley rooted off the inside groove. Now Steckley's got bigger problems. Here comes the 84. Fitzpatrick sends it into 1, pushes up a bit. I don't think they made contact. And now Fitzpatrick's going to close the deal down the backstretch.
Fitzpatrick up to P4, but at the front of the field, the gap continues to shrink between first and second. 0.4 of a second with 7 laps to go. My rough math says he needs to make up 0.5 of a second, and he is there. He is closing that gap on Sheridan. Did Sheridan use up his stuff?
Catching Sheridan's one thing. Passing him is another. 0.3 off the pace. High in turn 2. Caution will fly. And we thought we were going to have a great race for the win, but it just got way more interesting.
You know, not that I don't like the yellow. We're going to bunch it up. It'll be fun, but I would have really liked to see those two duke it out at the end. They earned their way there with 10 laps to go. Now it's anybody's game. The choose rule is going to come into play as Ray Morneau in that 0-3 sits and waits for the crew.
Well, crew down here on pit road for Ray Morneau waiting with a tire in hand and the impact gun. We'll let you know when he gets to us, Adam.
It looks like they're taking out the hood pins as though that 0-3 is going to need a tow. Safety crew with the hood up on that 0-3 machine. As we await for a tow truck to get up to the scene there in turn number 2. 92 laps complete, 8 laps remain. And there are still 15 cars on the lead lap if you include Ray Morneau in the 0-3.
And if Joe Lawrence can finish where he's at right now, if the race were to end right now, which it's not, but if it were to end right now, Joe Lawrence would be atop the point standings.
Well, I think there's a lot more shuffling still to come. I wouldn't be tallying the points just yet.
We might not have seen our last yellow flag.
I hope we did. You know, you don't want to see carnage. It's been a great race. Drivers have rubbed a little, they've bumped a little, but nobody has been really disrespectful. One tore-up race car, the 74 of Eric De La Riva, the 7 of Pete Vanderwist with some damage. That's enough. We don't need any more torn-up equipment.
Well, quite a group down here with the Kennedy bunch and the Morneau bunch waiting for the 03 to make their way in. Randy walking around in here trying to find out where their car is. And now they get ready because it's about to come down pit road by the looks of it. What do you know, Adam?
It's still sitting in turn 2.
Okay, so they're running around a little early.
Yeah, they haven't got it hooked up just yet. They've got it hooked, they just don't have it lifted up just yet.
But the 03 crew is prepared. They are ready.
They're always prepared. In their defense, I'm sure they're trying to pick that car up in a way that won't do any damage.
And I'm sure the 03 team appreciates that.
Exactly.
Jack Van Herk, one of our super stock owners from Delaware Speedway, owns the Nick Ramsey 07 car. Looks like him working the controls on the wrecker back there.
They're trying to push the nose of the car back as though it's too close to the tow truck, but I don't see this having a happy ending. If people have to hold the car back that far, they're about to pull the nose off of a race car. And they are taking their time, they're being cautious, but there's too many things at play down there.
I'm really not, I've never seen a situation like this.
Abby, can you fly over there? Can you fly over top of that car? We want to see what's going on with the tow truck. Sorry, Abby was having a nap here on the tower.
And Jack owns a garage. He does this for a living.
No,
okay?
for sure.
So, he is a trained professional.
I trust what they're doing over here, and I shouldn't pick on poor Abby because he's laser focused for hours and hours in a given night, and I'm not. But
squirrel,
if we get over top of that tow truck, we'll get an idea of what's going on. They've actually unhooked it, and they're looking for another spot to grab that 03 from. So what's going on is as they were lifting the car, it was coming up underneath the tow truck, so it was going to do damage to that nose. And to the tow truck, conceivably. Now Ray is starting to wave from inside the car, and it looks like he's okay. So he's waving the tow truck operator over. He's asking to look under the back of the car.
Hold on. Give me that again. What did you just tell us?
He doesn't want to take a chance of wearing the sway bar off. These new cars, it's kind of a problem they have with the right front, so he's got it flat. We're going to change it and go back out.
So you think Ray asked for them to tow it?
Yes, yes.
All right, there you hear it, Adam. They've asked for this car to be towed. They don't want to grind off the sway bar.
That Morneau crew's wily, aren't they?
That's how you know a driver races on a budget. That's how you know Ray's not a rich kid, because that would be a problem, a serious problem. Clinton, you can also tell Randy, Ray just had the towing operator say, don't lift it too high. They had him check under the back end of the car to make sure they don't wear anything off on the back end. They are now rolling down the back straightaway. Abby's giving them a push with the drone.
Great view, great view.
Abby is the star of the show. Like nobody. Hey, are you Adam Ross from G-Force TV? Yeah. No. Where can we find Abby?
Where's the drone guy?
It's all good. He does a great job. So it will be a quick fix then.
Should be. Just change the tire.
Oh, unless they bring him into the back pit entrance, that might infuriate.
Well, they might wheel him right through.
We got more probs. The safety crew's handing in metal bars and links, and it looks like they're done now. The crew saying we are out. So the part already off the car here.
So it sounds like more than just a flat right front tire.
What are the parts they've handed you, Clint?
Randy, what is that? What do you know? What is that? What do you know?
The sway bar ended up breaking, and that's what took the tire out, so we're done.
All right, thanks. Always good when we can get the inside information.
They have just executed the choose rule successfully.
And you saw everybody down there looking to help the Morneau camp when they came in. And I think that's part because when Randy goes to the racetrack, he helps everybody. That's the joke here on a Friday night between me and him is, hey, you're working on a late model here tonight. Where are you guys going tomorrow? You going to the APC race? Yeah. Who you helping? I'm not sure. We'll figure it out when we get there. And you get there, and he's got one team's shirt on and one team's hat on, and he's bouncing back and forth between 4 cars.
Their passion for the sport is infectious. And if you aren't a fan or if you haven't met them, do yourselves a favor and go meet that family. Just wonderful people.
I got the opportunity to go down and take a few laps at Morneau Speedway last year with the remote control cars. They built an oval, concrete oval in the backyard for their RC cars. That's how much they love racing. 8 to go at the stripe. We're going to settle the Spectre Premium 100. The control car is the 52 of Jake Sheridan, but you can see Stoddy leading the way. Then Sheridan fires. Great jump by Jake the Snake. Joe Lawrence is going to join him in the outside groove.
Top 2 drivers chose the outside groove, and the top 2 drivers clear the 17 of Josh Stoddy down the back straightaway on this opening lap of the restart. There'll be 7 laps to go, and Jake Sheridan has got out front. That car loose off of turn 4.
How about this bounce back by J.R. Fitzpatrick, making the best of what wasn't a very good day. He's been to the back of the pack once, just like Jake Sheridan. Also up into the top 5, sitting 4th right now.
Tyler DiVincenzo continues to move forward, making a move on Sean Chenoweth in that 89C, so move the 97 up 1 more spot at the stripe.
Meanwhile, Fitzpatrick to the inside of primetime Stoddy. J.R. Fitzpatrick onto the podium. How about this? The 2 guys that messed up the choose cone rule earlier tonight, from the back of the pack to the front, they run 1st and 3rd.
And there's still a long way to go as the action continues. Steckley has gotten around Stoddy. Shea Gemmel going to work to the inside as Joe Lawrence trying to close that gap. Less than 5 laps to go in this 100-lap Spectra Premium 100.
Now in the last long run, we did see that Joe Lawrence car come to life late. Question is there enough time? It doesn't look like it right now. 4 laps to go. We'll see if that 78 can start firing just a little quicker off the corners.
He's going to have to worry about his rear view mirror more than what he sees out the windshield as J.R. Fitzpatrick closing in on the 78. Fitzpatrick to the inside off of turn 4.
What a tough break for Josh Stoddy. Up front all night long. He's faded to 6th. He's got his hands full with Danny Benedict. Battle for 2nd. Everybody's watching that one down the Delaware Hill. And into 3. Lawrence has the spot. Fitzpatrick wants it.
It'll be 2 laps to go. Jake Sheridan continuing to pull away. Better battles deep in the top 10 as Tyler DiVincenzo trying to put the moves on current points leader Danny Benedict at the front. It's Sheridan by 5 car lengths.
Well, this has helped out Josh Stoddy, who's got away from Benedict. This is the best battle on the Speedway. Fitzpatrick trying to make a late charge. White flag in the air. Sheridan leads him down into 1. Trying to go back to victory lane for the first time in a few years.
Sauble Speedway, the place of the only victory for Jake Sheridan in the series. He's trying to do it again at his home track here at Delaware Speedway. Fitzpatrick working on 2nd, but it's going to be all Jake Sheridan in the Spectra Premium 100. Joe Lawrence 2nd, J.R. Fitzpatrick 3rd, 4th to Kyle Steckley. Shea Gemmel will round out the top 5, and race fans, how about that? He hit the choose cone.
Hit the choose cone, went to the back. No bubbles, no problems, because he's got no lift nick down there. They struggled earlier today. They were leaking oil in practice. They thought they could get it going for the 2nd practice. They ended up having to change a valve cover gasket between practices. They got it fixed. They got back out there for the 2nd practice. They've hit the choose cone tonight to go to the back. And Jake Sheridan's overcome a lot of obstacles to get down there to Pennzoil Victory Lane.
VP Fuels Victory Lane for the APC Series, Pennzoil for Delaware Speedway, and our True North.bet winners interview with Clinton Jeffrey. Clint?
Well, I got Chicky Nicky here, Nick, crew chief for his big brother Jake. What a run for you guys in this young crew. Nick, you got to be proud of your brother. What a comeback.
You know, we've run a lot of races before. I think this is the most exciting and amazing day ever. I'm so thrilled. This is awesome. We had a great comeback. It sucks what happened there, whatever, but he's pumped. Look at him go. That's awesome. We got the win. Woo!
There you have it from Nick Sheridan. This young crew does a marvelous job on both teams on dirt and late model. And here comes Jake here into victory lane.
He earned that one. I can't wait to hear this interview. Jake Sheridan always fits a lot of words into his interviews. Both of the Sheridan brothers talk in a hurry. He's already got the gear off, pouring some ice cold water over his head, so Clinton Jeffrey will head right on over there. Sean Gibbs is on the scene. And I think this is going to be a raucous celebration down in victory lane for the winner of the Spectra Premium 100, Jake Sheridan.
Jake a little bit dehydrated here. They're going to take a quick talk to him, make sure he's all right, give him some electrolytes, and get him out down here. Nick and Ron and the crew over here making sure he's all right. And Jake says, I'm good. Let me out of this car. And they're going to get ready to bring him out here to his hometown fan base here in VP Fuels Victory Lane for the APC Series. How about at Delaware Speedway? One of your own gets it done. Jake Sheridan wins it tonight. Well, we'll let Jake move his way around to the front, get a hug from Mom, and get ready to go here. Joe Lawrence in to talk to him as well. Jake, what a drive, man. Talk about your night. You went to the back after the choose cone problems, when you come back to this one. What a night, man. What a battle back. First off, are you okay?
That's probably the hottest I've ever been in there. I don't know if I sure used up a lot of brake coming through the pack there, so the foot box was hot, but I hope this is a pretty happy moment for me, but I really hope everyone here that organized this is pretty proud of that choose cone. But other than that, man, I'm so beyond proud. So beyond proud of what's going on here. This is the biggest one of my career. My dream ever since I've been about my 2010 was my dad's last year, and the year before that he held up the checker flag and the Canadian flag in the same corner for the Great Canadian 300. And it's my lifelong dream just to win this race. We've been so close 4 or 5 times. I'm just so emotional about that, but so I'm not usually emotional, so I'm pretty honored to be here. This is such a prestigious race. Doing that donut felt so good. So I can't thank Cameron Crane, Pride Seeds, Harlan Sherba. Harlan Sherba is the reason I'm here today, and McCall Racing. Mike McCall has been helping me a lot personally lately, and I really appreciate that. Vibrant Farms has been huge. My dad has been so instrumental in this program ever since I was young, and sometimes we disagree, and he gets upset with my attitude, but I'm pretty proud to be here. My little brother Nicky is so amazing. Mike is so amazing, and he's so good at what he does. So everybody here has got a big hand in this, and my crew guys, Mike Verboom's been so loyal. All the young guys, Aiden here, Liam Lachey, and just the guys that help every week. It's just, I'm speechless. It doesn't happen very often for me. I'm so happy to be here. It's my dream race to win at Delaware. We come so close to this. I'm just speechless.
Nothing more needs to be said. Jake, congrats.
Thank you so much, guys. It's going to be a hell of a night.
How about it for Jake Sheridan, Delaware? Let's hear it for one of your own.
And you could see the wear and tear from 100 laps on a hot night here at Delaware Speedway had taken its toll on Jake Sheridan, but nothing a couple of ice-cold beverages won't help. As Clinton Jeffrey closes in on Joe Lawrence, driver who finished in the runner-up spot. It looked like he had the car to beat if that yellow hadn't have come out, but coulda, shoulda, woulda. Second place is where he winds up.
Joe, this team just keeps chumming along so well, man. You got to be so proud. The family, the new sponsors, everything is clicking when you need to click. You're just so good at the end of these races. What's the magic there?
I don't know, just a great team behind me. Like you said, I have Great Lakes. Paragon hopped on board this week. Really helped us just solidify a run to the end here and a hope for a championship. Like you said, consistent top 3s, top 5s. This team's working endless amounts at track, at home, everywhere. Just giving me fast cars and a fun run to drive. Really.
Joe, could you imagine being this successful with this small team so early?
I'd like to say 100%, but you always have your doubts. You never know when it comes down to it, but like you said, everything's just clicking so well. These guys are working great. I want to thank all the fans for coming out. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this. I hope we put on a great show for you, and we can just keep doing it.
Right on. Joe Lawrence, guys, the 2020 champ, making big gains here with a small budget team.
Captain Crisp in the background celebrating with his brother Joe. And a third place finish. I'll tell you what, these drivers were at the front. They went to the back, and it took all the laps to get there. But J.R. Fitzpatrick gets back to a third place finish.
Big penalty early in the race, JR. You were able to battle back to a podium here. Jake managed to come from the back for the win. So you guys showed you could do it. Tell us about your night.
Well, first off, we had a great car. I mean, it was probably one of the best cars I've ever had here. And I just want to say, too, Jake Sheridan's got a good head on his shoulders now, man. We came from the back together, and he just got ahead of me a little bit in traffic, and lap traffic paid a huge dividend. So for him, I think he's doing an awesome job. Joe Lawrence, him and I race always so good together. I didn't want to do anything crazy because it's not worth it. But I don't know, man, that's 2 weeks in a row I've been screwed over by this Cone. Mr. Cone is starting to piss me off a little bit. They want to do this Pinty-style drivers meeting, and they don't tell us whether to go below or above the cone. So it's just they need to be more Pacific. That's all.
All right, there you have it from the reigning and defending champion, J.R. Fitzpatrick, guys. And we will wrap things up down here. Third for Fitzpatrick, Joe Lawrence in second, your winner. Jake Sheridan brings the 52 here to victory lane tonight, guys. That'll wrap it up from trackside. Take us home.
In an unofficial poll trackside of the top three finishers, it would appear 2 out of 3 drivers aren't crazy about the choose cone.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I think just like anything else, it's a new process. There's going to be the odd hiccup like this. And
I'll tell you what would make me feel worse. If it was deemed that Jake and JR did somehow get screwed by a choose cone rule, and then someone put fluid on the track and they both destroyed their race cars because they had to go to the back, I'd feel terrible about that. As it turns out, I was very entertained, and I don't think this race would have played out a lot different. I think it still would have been great battles at the front if Jake and JR stayed up there. Fact was, they went to the back and put on an even better show coming through the field. But obviously you understand the frustration, and procedures and rules need to be tweaked, and you need to go through them and you need to perfect them, and that's just the way it is.
I think we did not see what we saw at Peterborough with the choose cone, where there was big swings. The only one that really made the swing tonight was Benedict, pitting up a few spots. For the most part, it was inside, outside off they go. I know I keep track of the point standings. I'm the resident math geek, so I will throw this out. Okay, we came into tonight first to fifth, separated by 11 points. Unofficially, Joe Lawrence, new point leader. First to fifth, 6 points now.
Wow.
So unofficially, I've got Joe Lawrence, your point leader, Benedict second, Kyle Steckley third, 2 points back, Jake Sheridan fourth, and J.R. Fitzpatrick fifth.
It was a fantastic show. Let's take you through the full field rundown, folks. Kyle Steckley finishing fourth, just off the podium. Shea Gemmel rounds out the top 5 in that number 3, and he battled a lot of adversity tonight and came back for a solid finish.
Josh Stoddy ran up front early in the night, finished 6th. Your previous point leader, Danny Benedict, comes home 7th. Great run for the 97D of Tyler DiVincenzo. I believe that could be his best career finish, an 8th place result here tonight. Sean Chenoweth 9th. Tom Gibbons rounds out the top 10.
Again, Tom Gibbons, remember, he was way off the pace earlier on. They made a lot of adjustments. They fixed the toe on that race car and come back to a good finish. Patrick Friel finished on the lead lap in 11th. Corey Luciano 12th. Darrell Lake 13th. Glenn Stiers 14th and 15th. 8 laps down, did not finish the race, was Ray Morneau.
16th, 44 laps down, Jesse Kennedy. 17th, Eric Delariva. He was 48 laps down. 18th, Junior Farley. 19th, Connor Pritico. And 20th, Pete Manderwist in the 7S.
21st was Barry Watson, completing only 6 laps, and unfortunately Blair Wickett will finish 22nd, having not made it to the green flag. That'll do it from here at Delaware Speedway, folks. A great show tonight in the Spectra Premium 100. On behalf of Jamie Maudsley, Clinton Jeffrey down trackside, I'm Adam Rossi, and thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed that show, and we'll see you again at Flamborough Speedway in 2 weeks' time.
copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of GeForce TV. GeForce TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.